Sorry about that 5-minute delay. Had to wait for my phone to frickin' update. Gotta love that shit. You go to get live and then all of a sudden you got 5 updates you gotta do. But I decided to get on early tonight because I have a feeling this is gonna be a long show. I got a lot of pieces of paper sitting in front of me. A lot of different stuff I'm gonna look up. So I want to thank you if you're in the stream, and I want to thank you also if you're watching this on replay. A lot of these opinions and theories are a little crazy and off the wall, but they come from a good place. Okay, so a couple things I want to bring up here. I think first I'm going to dive into the Ashley Bush case just for a little bit, and then we're going to dive into the Delphi stuff. Hey Melmac, I found out something really interesting a couple hours ago, and this is going to be so crazy. And thank you for joining, by the way. If they need to get a new jury pool for a fair trial for Delphi, one of the locations is going to be Evansville. So that'll be very interesting. Be very cool. So yeah, I think I'm going to dip into the the Ashley Bush just for a little bit, and then we're going to dive into a whole bunch of stuff about Delphi. But yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. If the trial has to move to a different location, one of the locations is going to be right here. That'll be nuts. I'm definitely going to have to go down there and get some extra footage. Okay, so one thing that I wanted to talk about this Delphi, and then I'm going to dive into this, but let's see here. Let's do this. There we go. And that's not what I wanted to put up there, but I'm going to put this and see if you remember this name. So I'm going to check this guy out today, but that's going to be a little bit later. This is the guy I'm going to be checking out today. So a couple videos ago, I talked about Richard Allen. A couple videos ago, I talked about Ronald Logan. Keegan Kline, Ring. Hey, what's up, Kerstops? Thank you, buddy. And this is the guy I'm going to be talking about today, but that's going to be a little later. There's a couple things that, there's this Ashley Bush stuff I wanted to cover real quick. And then, let's see, let's get these videos ready. But yeah, I'm going to check that guy out today. Thanks for joining on Twitch, Ops. Appreciate it. Okay, so let me go to my playlist here. Very interesting stuff today. Ooh, I forgot I added. Okay, so I could have swore I added that video. Where did? There it is. Okay. We're gonna watch this news clip here.
And kidnapped from Benton.
Something that came out just a little bit ago.
We start
I haven't
tonight
even
with
watched it.
reaction from that federal prosecutor exactly 1 week after pregnant mom Ashley Bush was reportedly lured and kidnapped from Benton County and murdered in McDonald County, Missouri.
5 News reporter Catherine Gilker has been following this case from the beginning. Catherine, the details just keep coming in.
Darren, Erica, we learned more over the weekend about what investigators believe happened to Ashley Bush and her baby last week. The U.S. attorney says the suspects will remain in jail, but a grand jury will soon convene to decide if and what charges the Watermans will face.
This case is hard to read about. These facts are very disturbing that we've read in the court documents.
Investigators say 33-year-old
Such a sad
Ashley
case.
Bush was
So
kidnapped,
sad.
murdered, and had her baby cut from her womb a week ago Monday. She was lured by Amber Waterman, who she knew as Lucy, according.
By the way, I know there's people saying that she might have got killed in the truck and all this other stuff. No, she had the baby cut. Then she was killed. Now, I don't know. She might have been shot to a point where she couldn't defend herself or something, because I don't know how anybody's going to allow somebody to cut them like that. You know what I mean? But I think she forcefully took the phone from Ashley in the truck. That's why she couldn't text back. I think she had her at, maybe at gunpoint, something. I don't know, inside the truck on the way back. Kept her quiet, got her back to the property, forced her somehow into a location. And then somehow got her restrained or did something to her physically that wouldn't allow her to fight back, because she had to keep her alive. I feel she had to keep her alive until the baby was born. Hey, CDT. Thank you so much for joining my stream. Like I said earlier, you were like the main channel that I watched from the beginning and really got me into all this stuff. And, I just appreciate the inspiration from your end, for all this. I really appreciate it. You cover these cases so good, and you have such an elegant way of doing it. I totally appreciate your hard work and all the effort that you put into everything that you do. Thank you so much. It means a lot that you're in here. I appreciate it. All right, back to this video.
According to court documents, a woman who she met on Facebook offering free baby items and a work-from-home job. According to court documents,
That's another thing out there. There's people talking about how she was lured for a job first, then baby clothes. Come on, let's be real. This lady was planning this, putting ultrasounds on Facebook over time. This was planned from the hatch. So I don't see why she's going to put a job offer out there first when she's looking for a pregnant woman. You're going to put out baby clothes first because it's 100% pregnant women, or somebody, maybe there might be 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20 that's getting it for their cousin or something, but most of the time her success rate of finding a pregnant female is going to be very high. So I really don't understand why there's people saying that it was a job opportunity first and then it's horrific. It really is.
From home job. According to court documents, Waterman called her husband in 911 saying she had a baby last Monday afternoon. McDonald County Coroner William Goodwin says before Waterman's husband arrived at home, she put the placenta in her pants. The two drove to meet the ambulance, but the baby was dead and
My
Waterman
gosh.
refused medical care.
As a father, as a husband, as a longtime member of the community here in Northwest Arkansas and Western Arkansas, it's disturbing on a lot of levels, but it's
Very.
also a very strong reminder of the important work that we do.
I
here to
appreciate
prosecute
you.
criminals and
Thank you.
an effort to make our communities safer.
Goodwin says on Tuesday, Amber and Jamie went to the funeral home he owns to plan a funeral for the baby girl.
My whole adult life has been centered around death, but never seen so much wickedness and evil. And that's the only way to describe it.
Detectives searched the Waterman's property that same day. Goodwin says the Benton County coroner contacted him Wednesday morning, expressing that the baby about to be memorialized could be tied to a kidnapping. They went through with the funeral as planned, and both coroners met with the Watermans afterwards, telling them they needed to take the baby for an autopsy and confirming they would conduct a DNA test.
Everything was closing in on.
I just want to stop this real quick and say thank God there are people stupid enough to put themselves in these situations where they get caught. Thank God there's people stupid enough.
Them at that point.
Goodwin says Amber told them she was a week past her due date and was having a C-section Friday at a Northwest Arkansas hospital. The coroner tells 5 News a McDonald County medical office told him Waterman took a positive pregnancy test on July 15th and was expected to be due in January 2023. So it's unclear if she is still pregnant or had a miscarriage. Amber and Jamie Waterman were arrested on Thursday.
A lot of people think the husband's involved. I don't think so. I don't think so. I've said that in my previous videos. Ever since I started talking about it. Why would he help the cops if he's involved? Well, there's something else that came out today. They were having problems in their marriage. She even expressed on Facebook a year ago that he was going to leave her, that he was planning on leaving her. And then all of a sudden she's pregnant, but then has to play it off to him like she's pregnant so he don't leave. And then now, you know, like her crying at McDonald's or wherever they met on that Friday with their husband. I think it was a McDonald's. I could be wrong. I think she is freaking out because it was like, yo, it's do or die time, because I've already played this lie off long enough. It's been too long. I've been doing the ultrasounds. And like I said, he could be like any other husband in tough times where he can't miss that half an hour of work because it could create a domino effect financially for their household. Totally understand it is tough times right now. People are living barely even paycheck to paycheck. If you look at their house, you know, their property, you can kind of get that impression. It's paycheck to paycheck or even less. So I totally understand where this dude could be totally duped by her, trying to be this, you know, at least he's trying to be a father figure that's around, instead of just telling her to get lost, let me know when the baby's born, whatever. You know, at least he would, in my opinion, or my speculation or allegations, whatever, that he could be in that position where he's like, you know what, I got to do the right thing. I got to try and make it work. I got to do whatever I can do to make sure that I'm there for this baby, whether me and the mom or this or that. So I can totally see that situation. Now, I don't know anything more about this dude, but I'm just saying, if that's the position where he didn't know, I could totally understand that.
Day. Amber Waterman is charged with kidnapping resulting in death. Her husband, Jamie, faces a
Oh,
count
this
of
coffee
accessory
is
after the
tasting
fact of
good.
kidnapping resulting in death. The two will appear in federal court later this week. After that, the Western Districts of Missouri and Arkansas will decide which jurisdiction will try the case. A grand jury will then convene to determine the couple's exact charges. Catherine Gilker, 5 News.
All right, Catherine, thanks. We'll, of course, continue bringing you any updates as this case.
You know, that's a totally, like, hold on a second. She looks like that at, when is that? Is that when they first got there? And then that's, yeah, because they're in, okay, yeah, they're in, what kind of clothes are those? They're like, what kind of clothes are those? Yes. But I think, you know, because he's got a totally different story than she does. You know, like he's got a totally different story than she does. So I'm thinking the dude didn't know. You know, he probably literally thought are you staying up? What is it, tonight? Is it tonight? If it is, shit, I didn't. But I think he was like coming home, like literally thought she was in labor. And was like, he got home and then all of a sudden he was like, what the fuck is going on? That's why when the cops came, oh, this guy. That's why when the cops came, he's like, okay, yeah, it's over here. It's over here. It's over here. It's over here. You know, here's this. He was like totally cooperative. So I don't. Blood Moon, huh? Oh, yeah, I did hear about that. I don't know. I've just had all this stuff on my brain today. And I'll open the chat panel too. Here, let me switch that real quick. So go ahead. If anybody wants to join, they're more than welcome. Before I switch topics. Yeah. That dude is, man, you should, I don't know that I mean, I don't think the fiance is involved, but man, he said some really questionable stuff. Like really questionable stuff. I went over his interview a couple times. And then the thing that bothered me the most is he didn't even look back at his baby when she was walking away from him during the interview. He didn't even look. I'm like, dude, what if she's picking up a rock or who knows what, putting it, I mean, and you know, kids that little, they put stuff in their mouth all the time. You can't even let them be alone for 10 seconds. And this dude's worried about facing, I'm not a suspect. Okay, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, that news where he's speaking in past tense when they didn't even find her yet. And, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Is it? I don't know. I'll just keep those thoughts to myself. But here, let me see here. Sorry, I'm new to this StreamYard stuff, so, and even streaming like this, so I apologize if stuff takes me a while. But there's a link if anybody wants to hop in. All right, so I think there was one other thing. Let me see here. And then there's a couple other videos I want to get into about Delphi real quick. Let's see. Oh yeah, I wanted to watch this one too here. Just to... Oh my gosh, what's going on here? Whoa, 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 whoa. It's so hard to manage all this. Okay. Here we go.
Well, Ashley Bush leaves behind 3 children, her fiance, and many grieving family and friends. Today, 5 News reporter Jose Carranza spoke with them about how they're coming together to remember her.
Our family would camp out at the lake the whole summer, and then in the winters, we would go four-wheeling in the woods or sand dunes or whatever. So we were always together.
Lainey Blackburn remembers growing up with her cousin, Ashley Bush. Blackburn says Bush could be loud and bossy, but it's just a part of what her family is missing about her.
Aw. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And thanks for hanging out in the chat with me. That's a pretty cool picture, by the way.
They're doing about as okay as you can be in their situation. They're devastated. It doesn't make it any better that a lot of the details that continue to come out, they're also learning that with all the rest of us. They are learning a lot of things from the news.
Blackburn now wondering what could have been as a mother herself of a 3-month-old.
Just a few months ago, I was in her condition. I was pregnant as well. So I think it hits home a little harder because, you know, I go home and rock my baby and just think about how she should be here doing the same.
Blackburn says within all this chaos, some good has shown itself.
The outpour of love and support that they have received, it's what's getting them through this. And even though evil is in the midst of
Crap, I missed some of it
this,
because my StreamYard booted me for a
love
second.
and support, the good outweighs the evil.
Ultimately leaving the family with memories and a legacy.
Over the years, she grew to be a lot more quiet and gentle. She was a very kind person, very soft-spoken and lighthearted. She leaves a very kind and gentle legacy behind in her children. You can tell how doting and caring she was by the way her children behave and who they are.
In Farmington, covering news where you live, Jose Carranza, 5 News.
I just wanted to play that real quick. You know, we're always playing these videos of, you know, all the bad stuff. So I wanted to play something about good stuff that pertains to her. All right, so let me see here. I thought I had this open. All right, there's one video, you know, I wanted to refer this back to the Ronald Logan part of my previous videos. I just wanted to put this out there because it was one video that I forgot to play real quick. Let's see, it's this one right here. I just wanted to show how, like, I don't know, this just caught me off guard, and I was like, wow, you can almost have your own little voice comparison right here. So let me mute this music real quick so you can hear it pretty clearly. Let's see here. All right, let's mute this music. All right, check this out. Now, if you go to the 5 News, it's from 5 years ago, I believe. Let me see here. Let's see. Default. Oh, it's from, no, that's, was it 5 months ago? I thought this was like 5 years ago, because this is right after it happened. Like okay, maybe it was 5 months ago then. Well, this was an interview that took place 5 years ago. Let's see here. It was right after it happened.
See how the ground's much more matted down right in here.
Okay. I was watching this the other day, and I was like, holy shit. That's a fucking voice comparison right there if you ever need one. So if you look for this, it's 5 months ago, and you just look for the keyword souvenir in the title. Okay, because that's how it'll stick out to you. Fox 59 News, Indiana. So if you go to the, I think it's like 35-second.
Above, where Libby German and Abby Williams met the.
First, you're going to hear the bridge guy say, "Get down the hill." And then it's going to cut to Ronald Logan, and he's going to be saying something, and a couple words later, he says, "Down the hill."
The man who took their lives.
Down the hill. Okay, there's the crime scene down there. See how the ground's much more matted down, right?
Okay, sorry. He says, "Down there."
See how the ground's much more.
Abby Williams met the man who took their lives.
Down the hill. Okay, there's the crime scene down there. See how the.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not saying he was the bridge guy. I don't think he was the bridge guy. Personally, I think Ronald Logan, this is what I think. I think, well, this is what I used to think until today. Okay. So in my previous videos, I used to think that Richard Allen and his son, which were the two sketches, were the ones that where one was up there on the tracks, one was down there at the hill. They took both the girls after that to a location. All right. But now that I started looking into this Ronald Logan evidence and all the timelines and the alibis and just everything, I really dove deep into him when I noticed that there was some new evidence that they say was on the property. So then I started really looking deeply at this guy. And yeah, a lot of it is the same crap that I've heard for the last few years, in which, you know, everybody says is discounted. But when I watched this video, I was like, who says that this is interesting? The cops never said the voice is from Bridge Guy. They've never said that. We've always assumed it. So if you go back and look at it, cops have never, or I'm sorry, Ellie, have never said that the voice is Bridge Guy. It's not linked up with the video, I should say. So this could be his voice. Not saying he was the guy that is on video, because I totally believe that's Richard Allen. But I think Ronald Logan, because the girls were found on a part of the park that was not open to the public and they weren't discovered the day before, Ronald Logan was asking for an alibi at 9 a.m. in the morning, 3 hours before the girls were discovered. Not that day, the day after. And he was only asking for the alibi for the time that the crime took place, but he didn't ask the same friend for an alibi for where he went earlier in the day to the transfer station. So why are you only going to ask for an alibi for one trip and not the other? The girls were found 1,400 feet from his property. Only his main residence was searched, not his property, just his main residence. Whole bunch of area that was not even searched. I think this dude was like home base. He's got all this property. Hey, man, as long as I get a piece of it, ain't nobody gonna see you, and I ain't gonna say nothing. So I used to think it was Richard Allen, his son at the bottom of the hill, maybe this guy, because they said they had like 46 seconds of audio. So there's more. But I think he was right along there. What's up, allegedly? And I think that I don't think it's Richard Allen's son anymore. I think the other person in the sketch starting today is this guy right there. This guy. What's up, my friend?
Yo, what's up? I see Melmac in the house. Melmac, why don't you come up on the panel too and hang out with us?
Yeah, come on up. Here, let me switch it so it zooms in on this picture.
All right, so it looks like Delphi, right?
Yes.
So,
and I think this is the guy in the sketch.
Was this the cousin or the guy originally as a suspect?
This was a man. Let me explain a little bit about James Brian Chadwell.
Because I remember this guy. I just can't replace exactly what situation.
He was a suspect in the very beginning. He was photographed at the bridge. On his Facebook, there's a shit ton of pictures of him with Bridges. He fits the physical description. He's between 5'6" and 5'10", between 180 and 220 pounds, and he was 38 years old at the time. But if you look at the guy right now in this picture, don't he look a hell of a lot younger than 38?
Oh, yeah. I remember when this came out. You remember when we were talking about it and I said they had other suspects, and I really thought it was the one guy? I think it was him. But now
he's
that
back in the mix.
Well, now that I have a broader thought process, you remember my theory that there's a ring, and we both had the same theory. There was a ring. You think Richard Allen was more of part of it, right? And I think Richard Allen inserted himself. So I believe that this guy was part of the original ring as well.
Yeah, he's got to be. And I think he's the guy in the other sketch. And I think he was there.
He matches it better than anybody else. So here's what I'm...
Yeah.
And now that
I thought it was the son. Now I think it's this guy.
Right. Now that I've been doing a lot more panels and everybody's replaying all this stuff, I'm thinking it wasn't Logan. It can't be Logan. One, you and I both agree Logan's an old ass fuck that can't climb down a hill.
Oh, I got a new theory that I came out with already, man.
Fire away.
You missed it. All right, let me play this video for you. Because this is when I was digging in to the Ronald Logan stuff before, before we were on our one stream talking about Ronald Logan and shit. And so, but I forgot to play this video, and I totally forgot about this video. Now, I'm not saying he moved the bodies.
See how the ground's much more matted down right in here?
Oh, shoot.
The murder.
Well, Ashley.
There we go. All right. Now, I'm not saying that he didn't move anything. You can come up here. I can put another invite out up there.
Melmac, come on up. Talk with us.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. I'm not saying he moved anything. He was home base. That dude, it's basically like this. The girls were found 1,400 feet from his property. His main residence was never searched, or was only searched, not his whole property. And the girls were found on a part of the park that was not open to the public, right?
Right.
So I'm thinking this dude was a home base. Like, look, you can come here, do what you want. I ain't gonna say nothing. Ain't nobody gonna see nothing as long as I get a cut.
Maybe that's all good.
As long as I get it cut. Why would he ask his friend that gave him the alibi the day before about the time? Okay, he asked his friend at 9 in the morning, 3 hours before the girls were discovered. This is the day after. He asked his friend at 9 in the morning, can you give me an alibi between 2:15 and 5:30 for going to the aquarium? But his friend told the police, it's kind of funny that he didn't ask me for the alibi when he went to the transfer station earlier that day. Why would he ask for one trip and not the other 3 hours before the girls were discovered?
No, that makes
Crazy.
that puts things in a little
Home
bit of
base.
different, perspective. But for me, it's
Hey,
still.
Allison. The panel's open if you'd
You
like
have somebody
to join.
else?
Yeah,
Allison
what's up,
Faye.
Allison?
Come on, come up. You two have to come up. This is going to be such a fun panel if you have all four of us on here.
Yeah, I don't think he moved anything, man. I just think he was getting part of the cut, and it was his property. Nobody could see nothing. He wasn't going to say nothing. His property's huge. Have at it, my friends. Just make sure I get a cut of the,
Yeah, definitely.
And check out this video, bro. Check out this video. Not this one right here, dang it. Okay, because it was when I was looking at these videos for, digging deep into Ronald Logan again. And I came across this video and I was like, holy shit, this is a total fucking voice comparison.
See how the ground's much more matted down right in here? I think you're right there.
So
The
I'm
search
gonna
warrant from March 17th.
Cherry, hey.
Come on. All right. Hey, what's up, Cherry? All right. So let me pause this music real quick again. Let's see here. Sorry, this stuff's taking me a while and it's all brand new to me. Okay. So if you go to this video, bro, and it says souvenir on the title and it's from 5 months ago on Fox 59 News. If you go to the 35-second mark, right? And you're going to hear the audio clip. And remember, there's 46 seconds more of an audio clip. And the police have never said that the voice is the guy on the bridge. They've never said that.
Right.
So if you keep that in mind,
mm-hmm.
If you keep that in mind, then listen to the clip of this down the hill and then listen to what Ronald Logan says directly after. And he says, down the...
Met the man who took their lives.
Okay, there's the crime scene down there. See how the...
Huh?
Yeah, that voice could be him.
Listen to this again.
The
man who took their lives.
I think
okay, there's the crime scene down there.
See, I think because I think
it's a possibility.
It is, but I always point out pareidolia, and that's the most important thing that we have to remember, because we can see images in the clouds that look like lions, but it doesn't mean they're lions. So when we're looking at a video and we're trying to hear a voice, we want it to be a match, and a scruffy voice with a scruffy voice would definitely sit hand in hand. But I'm quite sure they ran it through a frequency indicator program, and I can't find it.
Well, that's what they did. And you know what? I totally agree with you, but you know what? I wasn't looking at it that way. I was sitting here making notes, during these Ronald Logan stuff. And I was looking down at my piece of paper because most of the time, honestly, I wasn't watching what was on the screen. I was just kind of sitting there writing down what was being said, not how it was being said.
Right.
And when that happened, I took a 5-take. I rewound that thing 5 times. I'm like, whoa, hold on. Not that I was looking for it, because my ideas are vast, man. And then I just kind of take this one, what makes it, and I just kind of throw it in a marble bowl, and then I just kind of mix it together, and that's my instinct.
Right.
I don't know, man. I'm not discounting him. Like, I know his voice. They said his voice didn't match.
You live near there, so
they got.
I
don't know, man.
I'm wondering why nobody's done this yet. Go to the bridge, have a copy of the video so that you could see exactly where it is, where she was standing when she was recording it. Just hold it up, watch it, line it up with the bridge. Then walk off the bridge, walk off of the side and straight down, because people aren't doing that. It's like recreating crimes. There was a guy who murdered his daughter. She was never found, and they finally just said all the evidence points to you many years later, decades later. The way that they figured this out was there were other women that were attacked and murdered on the same road. And they said, well, let's reenact it, because one woman was murdered. And they were like, we need to find out how he did this. So they reenacted it every way possible, and it proved that it would be him. Then at the end, the cop said, okay, this time I want you to run away and escape. And he said that's the last scenario they ran, because they wanted to have a happy ending, even though it was a tragic one. Nobody's recreating the crime scene. Nobody's up there going, look, here's where she was, matches perfectly. I'm going to walk off this way first and walk down this hill. Because if they did that, it would eliminate, if it was as steep as everybody's saying, because they're saying it's a dead drop. It's like 80 foot down.
Mm-hmm.
If it was...
It's pretty steep. It's not a dead drop, though.
Right.
It's pretty steep.
2 young girls and an older guy, they could have run away. They could have gotten the fuck away quick. So recreate it. Go up there and say, look, this is how hard it would be. It may eliminate a bunch of suspects, or it could now make them look even more guilty. If you say, no, anybody could have done this if they walked sideways. But we haven't seen that. Like, we don't know what the entirety of the path and the trail that they would have traveled to get to the point or near the point. The unfortunate truth is nobody's doing that. And it irks me, because if it happened right here in New York, I'll tell you, my GoPro would be on, my Shoulder Pro would be on, I would have my digital camera, I would have both of my phones, and I would be walking directly in with my drone, getting a panoramic view of the entire crime scene. And then I would say, okay, so everybody uses panoramic view, have as much time as you want to figure out every step of what could have happened. Nobody's doing that. They have all this equipment that's available mad cheap now, and nobody's doing that. They're going there with a cheap droid, taking pictures that you can't find, and they're not putting like a dollar bill next to it to say, here's how big this
Yeah,
is.
to measure it. Yeah, YouTubers are the ones going out there with drones.
Right. And
I mean, you can look up the videos on YouTube. I've seen them where people take their own, because there are people getting in trouble out there now. They have trespassing, where the girls were located and stuff. You can actually get in trouble now. So, because there probably had a lot of people going up there. I get it,
they had a lot
where
of
they
people
were located.
trying to say, oh,
So there's a lot of drones, yeah, or that too, But yeah, it's sad, but I don't know, man. It's just Richard Allen doesn't have a lawyer still.
Oh, I thought
has no lawyer.
Was getting one.
No, his wife never got him one.
Oh.
When he said that he was going to get his own lawyer in court, that's why they didn't appoint a public defender to him. She never got him a lawyer. He still has no lawyer.
I mean, it's kind of hard, though.
And he's being transferred.
Right. Yeah, when you're being
Yep.
transferred, you're not allowed to have a phone or access to a phone. So it's kind of hard unless your attorney knows where you are so he could show up.
Well, they better hurry up, because he should have a public defender no matter what. Even if he doesn't, I mean, he should have something. Because if they fuck around too long like this, it could come back to bite them.
Well, the lawyer, if his wife...
Not representation is illegal.
Right. And if the wife did hire a lawyer, he could walk in and say, I need to be brought to the location where he's being held so I could speak to my client, which tells me if this didn't happen yet, his wife bailed. She's like, okay, let's sell the house and move.
Yeah, my stream last night, I talked about the wife.
In a good or bad way?
No, let me see here.
I'm only curious because I am neutral on the wife situation.
Let me bring up this video. This will be a lot easier. I'll just go to my channel. I know exactly where it's at, and I will just replay me talking about it, actually, because it's all pretty quick. Let's see.
See, I heard somebody today say, or not, well, today and last night, that they shouldn't assume that the wife couldn't figure it out because there are countless murderers that never got caught by their spouses. First off, none of those countless wives in the past ever had video proof of what the guy looked like and how he walked and talked, right? So now,
except her, yeah.
Now that we have one,
but I don't
should have known. But that's why it tells me that. Remember the guy with that little soul patch that you were showing? That dude's been sticking in my head for 4 years. I'm not joking.
Yeah, man, he's back. He's back, dude. He's back, and they're looking at him again. They're looking at him again. And I don't know if you heard this or not, but if they need a fair trial and they're going to move it to a different location, my city is one of the locations they're possibly going to move it to. Yeah. So that'll be interesting.
Man, that's going to be hard for you
But
when jury duty comes up and they send you that message and that you sit there and they're like, have you ever heard of Richard Allen? And you're like, no, but you're nodding.
well, there's no way that I have read too much about it. Unless I walk in and be like, I never heard of him before. It's not
Don't.
gonna
Yeah, I would as a joke. As a joke, everybody in chat.
I always wanted to do it.
I'm going to say this as a joke. You should just lie so you can get on there and be like, he's guilty. Yep, he's guilty. His name spelled guilty.
I always wanted to do it though. I really did. I've always wanted to be on jury duty. But I'm thinking, okay, I think this is where I talk about the wife here. I don't know if I kind of think maybe the wife might have knew. If you went through the whole timeline, she didn't post anything on Facebook the year of the murders, when before that she was posting shit all the time.
Oh, dude, this was us.
And then the year after the murder, she started posting again. I used part of my video. When I did my stream last night, I used part of a video from before, kind of discussing the area of Johnson County and things like that. And speaking of, I got some more information coming up in a little bit about that. But this is what I'm thinking about the wife here. Damn straight they're going to put him in a corrections facility. Because he's the only one they got that can actually talk. Because post anything on Facebook the year of the murders, when before that bigger than Egan, he's talking. But I don't know if I kind of think maybe the wife might have knew. If you went through the whole timeline, she didn't post anything on Facebook the year of the murders, when before that she was posting shit all the time. And then the year after the murder, she started posting again. But you watch her posts, and there's people friends of hers even commenting like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like the way that she was acting. And I'm wondering if she was just under, like, she didn't post anything about trying to find, the videos of like trying to find the bridge guy. She didn't post any flyers, that, the sketches. She didn't do any of that. The share thing on Facebook. She wasn't doing none of that.
So can I interrupt real quick?
I'm wondering if she noticed the coat, noticed the walk,
So, check this out. I totally forgot to bring this up to you. You remember how I said that they belong to other groups? Richard Allen was in a Facebook group. Did you know that?
I mean, everybody's in a Facebook group.
Well, no, about Delphi, bro. He went by Richard
Allen.
Yeah, something. He had a different name at the end.
He's got like 5 different aliases.
Right. So he was in Facebook groups commenting on all of that stuff about this, which means he probably told his wife, hey, if we're going to be posting stuff, put yours on private, especially since we're in these groups, because I don't want some psychopath YouTuber coming after us because we disagree with their theory. So maybe the reason she wasn't posting all that time was it was private. Okay, that was the only reason I interrupted.
Yeah, let me get to this part here, and then I get your point. Post anything on Facebook the year of the murders, when before that she was posting shit all the time. But it kind of ties into my point here. And then the year after the murder, she started posting again. But you watch her posts, and there's people friends of hers even commenting like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like the way that she was acting. And I'm wondering if she was just under, like, she didn't post anything about trying to find, the videos of like trying to find the bridge guy. She didn't post any flyers, that, the sketches. She didn't do any of that. The share thing on Facebook. She wasn't doing none of that. I'm wondering if she noticed the coat, noticed the walk, noticed the hands and said, "Oh shit," and was because of what took place, because it was a double murder, because of what took place, and the cops having no idea who it was. I'm wondering if she just felt this immense amount of pressure just to try and go along with the flow because she didn't want the same thing to happen to her. Because if you think she would have walked in and told the cops back then, "Hey, I think it's my husband," they're not going to automatically be able to arrest him right away. He's going to have to go back home to his wife. She's going to have to face him that first night after she went to the cops. And then in her mind, she could be like, who knows what's going to happen? So maybe after so long, the mental, the Facebook posts about the crazy shit that was being posted. People commenting, her own friends, what the hell is wrong with you? She just came to a point, and maybe she was the one that said, okay, cops, you guys got enough shit now. Or maybe she talked to that neighbor that said he supposedly stole something, which gave the cops the ability to go search his property. Maybe she went to a neighbor in confidence, couldn't go to the police, but went to a neighbor and said, hey, neighbor, can you please just say this and tell them they need to look at this spot for this thing that he, quote, stole? Just tell him he stole a wrench and it's in the backyard by the shed, or it's in the shed somewhere in his toolbox or something, wherever she maybe knew where something was at. That's my theory about the wife.
I mean,
so
it's possible he might have. But
I totally get your part.
That jacket would be gone, dude.
I think she knew when the picture came out, is what I'm saying. I think she knew. But there was not enough evidence back then. She couldn't go to the cops. Who could she go to? Either. She would know, damn, that's my husband's walk. That's my husband's talk. That's my husband's coat. That's my husband's boots. But I can't say shit. I got to play along and pretend like I don't know anything, just like everybody else, which she did. And she didn't, because she was posting a lot of stuff before it happened, and she quit for a whole year. She probably didn't know what the fuck to say at that point. She was like,
weren't those jacket pictures from 2018?
What's that? He still had the jacket.
Well, he wouldn't, because remember, there was so much blood at the scene. They know it would have gotten on his hands, but he would have had to.
Said he didn't take it off. Who said he didn't take it off? And I'm not saying the bridge guy isn't Logan either. It could be him too, because yeah, I see a fanny pack also in a way, but in a way I don't. So I could see that it being. I definitely think Logan's involved. I definitely think Richard Allen's involved, and I definitely think this James Bryan is involved. Because the more that I look at his picture in that sketch, son of a bitch, because them two sketches don't look like the same person. That's just my opinion.
That's my opinion too. I agree with you 100%.
I totally think that those are two different people. I totally think the one is Richard Allen, and I think the other one is James Bryan. Part of that ring.
Maybe for me, it's just the one thing that's standing out to me completely.
What's that?
One, the police just aren't smart anymore. They're just not. I hate to say it, and they think they are, and they keep talking about how victorious they are, but they're not. Because any fictional show, anybody walks in and says, hey, I was at the place where those people were killed. Even a fictional show that's 100% fake, that has the biggest hook, line, sinker, and twist at the end, the police would never let them go as not suspicious. They would immediately be like, dude, you're on our radar. You're a suspect. We're going to ask where you were, who you were with, where you went. We want your phone. In this case, they're like, Hey, thank you for coming in and let us know. Why don't you just go home and sleep it off, bro? This must be traumatizing. No, I want to help search. That's perfect. Go ahead and get out there. Put your DNA everywhere. Put every trace of you all over the place so that we can't prove that you weren't part of it. Go ahead. So for me, I wouldn't be surprised in the least if things started popping up. I wouldn't be surprised if the wife was involved. I wouldn't be surprised at this point if everybody in town wasn't involved, except for the poor cop who just been, suckered and sent all these different directions by tons of people. Because at this point,
I don't think the wife. I don't think the wife was, because you see her. She had videos on Facebook of feeding stray cats. If people kill people, they kill animals first. So if she has that kind of heart, I don't see her being part of it.
I'm joking about
I
her.
just see her. Oh, okay. I just see her knowing about it and freaking out and not knowing what to do. And
You
then
already know
finally
what I said.
it got to a point where she knew where something was at, and she went to the neighbor and she said, "Dude, telling me stole a fucking wrench from you and hid it here. Because how in the hell are cops going to show up for a stolen item and then all of a sudden come away with evidence to arrest him for the double murder when he wasn't even on anybody's radar? It just don't make sense. They had to know exactly where something was at. And
Right. You
once
remember
she
what I said?
knew,
That wife was too happy in all of her videos to have been any part of it.
Yeah, she was. And I think with the cops being crappy nowadays, I think it's two things: underfunding. And I mean, and I'm going to compare it like this. I know they're not the same occupation in any way, shape, or form, but it's just a more like a metaphor type comparison in a way. I'll use this example. You go to AutoZone, right? You ask them for something, some guy's walking in the aisle, and you say, "Hey, I need this and this and this and this." They don't know what the hell you're talking about until they go to their computer and ask you what your car is, the make, the model, and the year, and then they can see the crap in front of their screen.
Bro, I said that in Best Buy
So
to my ex-girlfriend.
if that, you know what I mean? If that's what is coming, if that's what's existing, then I think it's part of society, and then I also think it's part of the defunding, because let's be real. I mean, I don't know how anybody else feels, but I feel like, you can have law your own self, everybody can own a gun and all that. But we need police out there too. We need people out there patrolling the streets when we're in our beds and we're trying to have a comfortable night so we can go to work the next day not tired. And we need people out there, letting people know you can't just come run around and do shit. And so I do feel like part of it is underfunding, why some of this police work is so bad. Maybe they just don't have the instincts like the old school cops do.
What I think is formatting, and I've said this during the Kylie Rodney case and the Debbie Collier case, they should say this: enough is enough. At this point, we're going to take the best minds from every level of law enforcement, from the beat cops and the meter maids all the way up to the FBI, CIA. Get two of their best people, have them all go in a room and create a curriculum. This is going to be the format from the bottom of law enforcement to the top. When you encounter a crime scene, everybody does exactly the same thing. Also, no more fellow bumpkins from the same town becoming the police chief, the deputies, and everything. You can have up to 2 to 3 people from your home city or town. And if it's even smaller than that, one. But all the other deputies are going to come from a farther distance across the states, and it has to be organized. So this way, corruption doesn't just happen with everybody because they're from the same hometown and they grow up and they become a cop and they just fall into it. You have new cops coming every 2 years. Nobody gets comfortable. Nobody makes friends. And that formatting will cover everything from encountering a crime scene, investigating a crime scene, and keeping the crime scene clean until the CSIs come. And the CSIs must come from 2 counties away. And it has to be clockwise or counterclockwise rotation. So this way people are like, hey, I know that, we just had a murder here and you had a murder there. They can't swap forensics. They have to say, okay, we have to put it in and people are going to be dispatched immediately. We have 911. We already have a 911 system in place. That would be the hub for sending different jurisdictions to different places. This way, we don't have a Truckee community handling their own case and then saying, yeah, everything's
Right.
everything. And no, none of the cops went into lockup and took a bunch of drugs with fentanyl in it and sold it to anybody at the party. This
Yeah, that's a
eliminates
weird one too, man.
all of it. And right now, that poor cop who has been working his ass off since Delphi occurred, he seems to be the only one that is dead set on always being a part of it. And he's like, you could tell when he's like, we have roadblocks. He's talking about locally. He's not talking about with the crime itself. He's like, we had so many roadblocks that were stopping us, and he starts crying. How are you supposed to get a search warrant for a judge's home? How are you supposed to get a search warrant? Because you have to go to the judge to get the judge's permission to search his home.
Yeah.
So he had the hardest road. And when he broke down in tears, dude, I cried. Like, I started crying. I'm like, this poor guy was the only one, night and day, always on top of this.
You could see it in his lips when he was talking, like the emotion of it. You're just like, damn, man. Like, it's good to see people care like that, It really is.
Especially with all the ridicule he got. I mean, I'm guilty of saying, what's wrong with the cops?
He still
there?
is.
Right. I said, what's wrong with the cops there? I didn't know it was only one dude handling everything, and it was him, because everybody else would rotate out. They had other people coming in and checking the crime scenes. That one guy, and he put his heart and soul into his job. I give him a round of applause. Ooh, we have a comment.
Cherry says, Facebook is what a person wants you to. That is very true. And speaking of Facebook groups, man, it's just as bad as Craigslist was back in the day, huh? With this Ashley Bush stuff. My gosh, you can't even trust Facebook groups for baby clothes no more. And Richard Allen's, I know that was so sad with that tie-dye shirt. Yeah, that was kind of disgusting, actually, but very sad as well. If anybody wants to come up, they're more than welcome to.
Please, it's so much fun up here. CJ's.
I know Cherry has she has some information on some things I was asking her to check out about Indy. Do you have anything more you want to say allegedly about Delphi theories and stuff before I go into this Indianapolis direction?
Oh, no. I think you and I have covered all the bases. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had some good conversations. I appreciate the conversations about it, man.
Dude, you're making me get
hanging in there too.
You're making me itch to get a live going so that I could pull you in and be like, "Hey, my partner."
So, Cherry, do you want to come up, or do you want to just type some information in the chat, whatever you came up with? I was asking her I said, can you do me a favor? There was one city in particular that popped into my head, allegedly. It was Carmel.
Carmel?
Okay.
Why is that familiar?
Yes. You know how we were talking about Franklin and all of these places down here?
Yeah.
And I kept wanting to come up north of Indy because of how close it is. Let me see here. Let me put in Carmel to Delphi here.
Oh, Cherry, just come up and talk with us. Come on. Peer pressure.
Let's see. Carmel. Let's see. And
Dude,
Delphi.
Every time you say that, Carmel, there's something about that place. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a past crime, but it's standing out to me for some reason.
Well, it's a rich area. Okay. Very rich area. Cherry will have the statistics soon here. I asked her to look up a few cities for me just to kind of broaden the spectrum. But look at I know we were paying attention down here. And, when I'm looking at the financials of this area, it wasn't telling me rich, high level people. I think those are medium people. I think the rich, high level people are around Carmel. And look, you got Delphi right here, hour away. And then you got Peru straight up north on 31.
You're saying it's an epicenter.
I think this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking these guys right here control these guys right here, which then supply this area right here. Because if I can find this news clipping again about when they busted these people. And Cherry, did you happen to find out any more information about here we go. The wife seems kind of obvious, if you ask me.
Oblivious?
Why do you say that? Yeah.
Oh, she seems oblivious, meaning she wouldn't have realized. She just
Oh,
seems
oblivious.
Like
I'm sorry. I need to put my damn glasses on. My bad. Where's my glasses?
Yeah,
I always put them on right
Allison
before.
Say,
totally. My bad.
I think EvilleCJ and I covered that in another one of his lives where we both said she seems so oblivious to everything because she's happy, like beyond
Yeah.
happy. My cat just hit her
It's
head on
just
my
crazy.
laptop. My cat literally stood up, turned her face, and whacked my laptop, and she was nowhere near it to begin with. She's tired. No, you know what? That makes a lot more sense, having an epicenter of wealthy and having all of the externals doing the work for them. And the trafficking makes it so much easier because you can bring them around the epicenter and through the epicenter when required.
And they're just, the rich guys, they're just hanging out, mowing their lawns, sipping their coladas, chilling in the pool. They're doing they don't have to do shit. They're like the drug lords in a way. They're just kind of chilling, letting shit happen in the background. She has a weird laugh. I know, very weird.
Because I did have a cousin who worked for the mob at one point as a safecracker and then broke off on his own.
20 men have been arrested as part of a...
I'm sorry. I cannot get this thing paused quick enough whenever I get these up here. My bad. Go ahead.
The one thing I can say is he was one of the wealthiest people in this area and nobody knew it. Because when you do illegal activities, anything, I think it's over, and correct me if I'm wrong, anybody that knows this in chat, but if you spend spend like over $1,000 or over $5,000 in one shot, or deposit like $5,000 out of the blue, the federal government starts looking into it. So the way that my cousin was,
I thought it was 10.
It's either 5 or 10. It depends on how much you normally make. I think the IRS, they keep tabs on that. So when you immediately start having tremendous amounts of money out of nowhere, when you make a steady paycheck, consistently, they see that sort of thing. So, and they used to monitor it with electronics because a lot of people that were criminals and they only made, like, let's say an average of $2,000 a month or $4,000 a month. They were buying tremendous amounts of electronics. Well, that's why when they scan them, they ask for your zip code and stuff because it goes into a federal database to say, oh, this was purchased at this time by this person. Now, the people that pay with cash, I don't know how they record that. But when you're using large sums of money like that, you get caught. So my cousin, he said one of the things they train you in is you take the majority of it, get a safety deposit box, or you get like a new mattress and poke a hole in it, and you keep most of the money there and spend it in small intervals, but you maintain a regular job to cover all the expenses. So basically your regular job is just free money you're getting for working. You don't even have to spend it because you're making all this money that nobody knows about.
Yeah.
So he was one of the richest people in the area, and nobody knew it until he got caught.
A lot of my friends would just, if they were going to deposit money, they'd just deposit 9,000, and that always kept them under the radar.
Yeah. Yep. So for these guys,
and they don't have to worry about it.
For these guys, like, the clothing that you pointed out, that's a really good catch. If there was an epicenter, that's scary. And Carmel, I don't know why, but it's standing out to me. The name is, and
it stuck out to me today too, man. I'm just like, I need to know more about this city.
I wonder if there's been like a bunch of old cases that I remember from that area. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they had to do with trafficking and missing girls. That's why it's like standing out to me so strongly.
Well, I don't know if you're busy tomorrow night, but let's make it a topic tomorrow night if you're not busy, man.
Dude, I'm never busy. I work on my videos, and I take breaks when my friends go on lives, and that's about it. And I play NBA. But that war phase, I graduated. I made it through the boot camp training. So, and then I'm like, okay, now I'm going to try to play it.
What do you think of it?
You can only co-op or 5-person, and I'm like, I don't want to. People are going to make fun of me. They're going to be like, you suck. So I'm like waiting, and my buddy, I was like, dude, go out and buy go buy a PS4 so we can play this, so I can practice before I look stupid with CJ on a screen. And he's like,
it ain't hard to look stupid. I mean, I said that wrong. It's an easy game, bro. It's an easy game, bro. Nobody can look stupid on that game. Nobody can look stupid on that game.
You'll be, what kind of sniper are you?
I want to say thank you, Allison. I don't snipe in games. I suck at it. I want to say thank you, Allison. I appreciate that today. I got a few subs today. I appreciate that. That was really cool. And thanks for hanging out as well.
You see what you
and
said?
yeah, you really can't, can you? Especially, with the shit that, what was it, earlier this year, all of a sudden everybody's getting handguns and all this other shit, and you're just like, what the hell's about to happen? But I don't, I don't want to get too much into politics. And yeah, Carmel is definitely standing out and has been, and I'd definitely love to make it a topic tomorrow night. Let's dig into it. Let's see.
Yeah.
Cherry's got a oh, 1 second here. Mount Carmel, Summer Wells. Oh, yeah. Maybe is that why it's sticking out to you allegedly?
Maybe
Mount Carmel.
No, Carmel is just sticking out for one, like the name itself.
The Indiana
Richest cities
shit.
in Indiana: Zionsville, Carmel, St. John.
Well, let's see here. We got Cherry typing in some stuff. We got richest cities. Okay, Zionsville, Carmel, St. John, McCordsville, Westfield, Avon, Barnesville, Johnson. Oh, what? Barnesville, huh? Johnson County. Hold on 1 second. Let me go back to this map real quick.
Johnson County is where you pointed out to me the other night.
Yeah, let me go back to this map real quick.
So, Cherry, were you the one that I asked where you were at, what state, and you said you were very close to that location? So you're in Indiana or something?
No, I was close to it.
Oh, okay.
Let's see here. So it's Barnesville. Let's look that up. We'll just put it to Delphi. Barnesville? Did I not spell it right? Let me go back. Let me go back to chat here. I thought I did. I don't see it. Maybe there's no E. No. Okay, it's not coming up.
Type
under
in barn.
that.
Just try typing in barn and see what comes
Barn.
up. It could be Barnersville or something.
Barn, Indiana. Maybe I'll type in Indiana and then Barn. No. Barnard.
Oh, that could be
My
it.
bad. Autocorrect. Bargersville. All right, let me Bargersville. There we go.
Where's that located at?
All right, that is. Holy shit. Look
Yeah,
at
dude.
this. Look at this. It's right next to Franklin.
So when
That's
you
a
say there's
little
hotels in
teeny
areas, what would you say the average income is for a person in those areas?
Well, let's see. It's number 7 richest city in Indiana. Carmel's number 2. Carmel's number 2. What if I wonder what the population of Bargersville was 20 years ago.
Hey, wait
I
a minute.
wonder if
Where were
what's
those
up?
20 men arrested? Perth, you said, right?
And Franklin.
Franklin.
Right here.
So is that on there?
Right here.
Cool.
Yeah, it's right next to it, bro. 10-minute
it
drive
Franklin County or
down
Franklin
144. Johnson County. It's Johnson County. Johnson.
There you
Here,
go.
let me go back to Johnson
That's
County.
where
Here.
Bargersville is, Johnson County.
Yeah. Well,
there you go.
Let me see for sure, but it's pretty damn close. It's got to be
Good
in there
research.
in Johnson County. Look at this. Franklin is right here, 144. But this is what I need to know. I need to know Carmel is one of the wealthiest cities in the northwestern United States. Wow.
Good research, guys. You guys should be up here.
Wow.
Man. Let
In the
me tell you.
Midwest. Yeah.
Here's what you guys need to do. Quit your jobs, quit your families, and just come up on live with us.
I need to know the population. Let me see. Let's say I need to know from 1990, the year 2000, and the year 2010. Maybe like every decade, the population. I'm curious to see. This is why I'm asking. Because I wonder if, because look at how big Carmel is, right? And it's one of the richest cities, right? I'm wondering if it just got too busy up here and these rich guys were like, you know what? Let's go find us a little frickin' town that we can just call our own.
Guys work, bro. So the thing is,
we can just call our own.
If you shit where you eat, people are going to catch you. But if you branch out and have all these smaller little locations doing the shit for you, you're undetectable because it's not happening there. So for them, they didn't even have to say, let's branch out. They actually just did it. They were like, we need people in all these small towns, rinky-dink areas where a kid can, something bad could happen to a kid and it won't really bother us because it's happening there. So all those rich people, they have to be connected in some way to those towns. Right now, if they have the information that they're claiming they have for all of those apps and stuff, they could be connecting it to these guys sooner or later.
It's gotta be. Look at this, man. Look at Bargersville. This is how low key this is. One speedway. You got a creek tackle shop. You got a cemetery. And you have a round barn, which is just a historical landmark. That's all you got.
Dude, this is every one of those scary thriller movies put into one.
You're telling me this is a fucking rich area? This, like I said, this has got to be. I guarantee. Let me see. Carmel since 2020. That's it, huh? 4.1%. Since 2020. But what about 20 and 30 years ago? Like, what was the total population? Because I bet it was a few hundred, and then I bet you it went from a couple hundred for a consistent period of time to all of a sudden 1,000.
Well, here's the thing about these guys. They're predators, right? And what do we know about predators? They don't, they don't, and this is going to sound really horrible, everybody, so I apologize. But they don't hunt game. They don't hunt game in small towns like that. If they want to get like CP, that's what they get.
No, I'm not saying they hunt. I'm saying this. I'm not saying that they hunt here. This is where I'm bringing up Bargersville. I'm saying that the dudes that used to kick it in Carmel, because there's, they still have that, you got to think about it like a mafia family in a way, right? They still have this location.
Right.
But it's like a new biker clubhouse. They get so many members at one biker clubhouse, they got to start a new one, the South chapter.
Right.
And you're not in Franklin, you're in a little ass Bargersville.
But see, that doesn't fit for Libby and Abby, because in a town of 3,000 people, if they did this snuff thing there, it becomes huge like this, and sooner or later people start getting caught and people dying people out. You take kids from really bad locations and then you bring them somewhere to a location where you can commit the crime, and you leave them there so that somebody either finds them or they don't find them, because children are small. So when they're bones, it's harder to see. People walk past them all the time. So you don't take people from a 3,000 person community, do a snuff video, and think we're going to get away with this forever. You get it from a poor trailer park community. You bring them 2 to 3 cities away, commit the crime, and leave them in the woods. And the kid turns out, just missing forever. So I think Libby and Abby, it wasn't part of the ring. I think they were probably trying to maybe get pictures or images of them and video of them doing really obscene things. But I don't think the CP ring lured them out there so that they can commit this atrocity that would be investigated by the FBI and everybody on the planet very thoroughly. They don't.
That's not what I'm saying, though. I'm not even saying that anything took place in Bargersville. This is the only connection I think Delphi and all this stuff has, is that this is, if you watch that news conference, they talk, I can play it again if you want, where they talk about arresting 20 people in a ring, right?
Right.
They were talking about, they were soliciting the same material that Delphi Peru was soliciting. Okay.
Right.
They also said in that news conference that they also were going to Alabama. They were going to all these other bigger locations. And you got to think about it. Indianapolis is in the center almost of the United States in a way. It's very centrally located for a lot of major populations. But I'm not saying anything happened in Bargersville. I'm not saying anything happened in Carmel. The only reason I'm connecting those two is because that's where the highest of the highest are for Indy.
Gotcha.
Franklin is where everybody's getting caught, and that's your, so to speak, your street level. The guys that are always having to be out on the street, the guys that will get caught. What I'm bringing Bargersville in is because I'm saying the population of CP people got so populated up there. I think this is part of it.
They opened a new location.
Right. It's like another, they had too many up there. They needed a new location. And since it's so close to Franklin, because that's where the main investigation is starting from, is in Franklin. So to me, it's like, okay, the Carmel people are down in Bargersville. Bargersville's right down the frickin' road. Boom. And when it comes to the CP with all the other stuff, I still think Keegan was the one that was dealing with these guys. And I'm not saying he was dealing with Carmel folk. I'm not saying he's dealing with Bargersville. he's dealing with Franklin and Greenwood and those people, the people that just got busted. And I
Yeah, I
think
agree with
the
that.
whole reason why that sting came about is because when that or whatever it's called, when they went to the judge, the police did with all the information that they had to see if it could be, uh, uh, you know,
Deal.
sealed, and the judge was backing the fuck off. I think that information right there is what spawned the 20 people that got caught in Franklin just a couple days later.
Oh, I think that, yeah, they probably connected
They
a lot
knew
of those.
that that's where the CP was coming from. And then they let the Franklin police know, hey, this is where the CP that we have in our possession, this is where it's coming from. This is where we're linking it. And we just wanted to give you a heads up. Keegan Kline is ratting off like a motherfucker. I bet you he's telling people, I bet you he's telling the people's names that live in Franklin where he got the shit from.
No, I mean, that's not going to be hard for them to find out. They could backtrace that off of his
81.
stuff.
Whoa, look at this. Look at that. Carmel has 88.1% growth since 2000. 88%. When it was 4%.
But we can't also
Just a couple.
discount the fact that, a lot of, and this is no offense to anybody because there's, it's both men and women. There are a lot of lonely internet people out there. Like my area that I'm in, you remember when I said that it wasn't too, well, I never said this, but I will now. Growing up, it wasn't bad. Once I was getting out of high school, they had brought a group home of people from New York City here. And it began to get bad because the group home people messaged all their friends going, hey, the drug dealing up here is so easy. Nobody has anything and they have a lot of money. So all of these people that are from the city started moving up here and populating it. Now it's like they're women are bringing guys from Africa here and marrying them, and then they're getting pregnant, and the guy's going off and impregnating 15 other people, and then he becomes a drug dealer on the street, and it's pathetically horrible. So growth nowadays is so easy when a population is pinpointed. This actually boosts your theory that they open business there, and now everybody from different locations are moving to that area, and that's where that, what was it, 81% rise? That's why you're right. They're probably
80,
like, hey, we
yeah.
have a freaking ocean full of disgusting videos and pictures and stuff right here. Move up here. It's kind of grossing me out now that I think about it.
It's crazy, man. Yeah, so we need some info on, we'll have to do a show about Bargersville and Carmel, both of them at the same time. Maybe even a little bit of Franklin, since they're the ones that are. But yeah, I have a feeling that Keegan gave up these names to these people.
Well, a
flash
couple of,
drive with pictures and videos, not a baggie.
A couple of those, detectives and FBI agents and everything, I think that they're talking to people that they know that have access to the case files and stuff, because they're putting out a lot of information of, if this is the case, this is why. Dude, sorry, you're an FBI agent. There are a plethora of reasons why something could be happening, but you're narrowing it down to specifics. He must have provided names. They connected those names to specific people, and they have a feeling that an organization is soon to come to light. That's, sorry, you're a police officer, detective, and an FBI agent. All three different people are saying the same thing. That means they reached out and got the down low from that location. Somebody's leaking information to these ex-cops, ex-detectives, and ex-FBI agents. Because right now, think about it.
Man.
Why would they be going on YouTube stations and putting on shows and talking about it? It's ridiculously dumb with the minimal amount of information that people are allowed to know, but they're coming up with these top-notch theories with one circumstance involved. I don't know. I still think
it's crazy. You know, we're
we're
getting
remember
there.
what I said. They wouldn't go
We're
and
getting there.
right. They wouldn't go and commit this atrocity because you can't be a down low CP organization. That's all it is voyeurism. None of them really ever meet up with people. That's a totally different realm. That's, you know, snuff and stuff like that. So for this to occur, it wouldn't be one of them. They wouldn't be the ones to do it. It just doesn't fit the MO. That's why they have motorized operandi, I believe it is MO. The police and FBI and everybody, they format an MO, and they know that a burglar burgles. They know an artist art. They know a murderer kills people. That's why they have MOs. So if they're gonna pin the MO of voyeur CPers, they're not killers. They don't kill. Even if they get overexcited, they don't. It just doesn't happen. I don't even think there's a case where somebody was just part of a CP ring and suddenly they're up for murder because they went too far. I know that there are people that are child M's and they go too far, but that's not CPers. They're not voyeurs. They're specifically hands-on. That's an MO. So for this case and all the things around, yes, there is definitely a CP ring there. I feel it. Well, I shouldn't say definitely. In my speculation and opinion, there's a CP ring. But
Well,
what
check
happened
out this. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, I got this new video that came up. I not that it's connected. I'd like to find out more information about where this happened, but it was somewhere, and it's
We're also
kind of
learning more
scary.
tonight about a man who escaped police through hidden rooms and crawl spaces in Connorsville.
Investigators are telling us that Stephen
Connorsville. Give me 1 second, and I'm going to look that up.
Dude, that's crazy because when I was a kid, I said I wanted to build a house that had all these secret passageways like the game Clue.
Holy shit. Huh. I'll show the map in a second.
Stephen Lakes is wanted on several felonies
in Connorsville.
Investigators are telling us that Stephen Lakes is wanted on several felonies, including battery and drug charges. Now,
I just thought this
weekend,
was
police got a
interesting.
tip that Lakes was staying at a house on Eastern Avenue. The homeowner confirmed that he was, in fact, inside.
After an hours-long standoff, Connorsville and state police used chemical weapons and a battering ram, but Stephen Lakes had already slipped away.
Yeah, check this out. During a sweep of this house, they discovered secret spaces that he may have used to escape.
For instance, a bookshelf was a false shelf where a book pulled it away from the wall to a living area inside a small living.
What the hell do you need that kind of room for? I'm just saying, right?
Quarters. The things that you would see in movies, this house had those. A false hallway that was a crawl space. The things that you would see in movies, this house had those. A false hallway that was a crawl space that had
False
two doors
hallway.
on each side that slid open into further crawl spaces. So
What do you think about that when I show you this map? Are you able to see it?
Yeah, not like I can't see the words, but you're.
Can I get rid of this? There we go. Yeah, I wanted to get rid of that. There we go. Connorsville's right here.
Right.
All
around
them
it.
secret trap rooms?
Well, the one secret room I could tell you that. So that's from another case as well. It was called Boneyard, and I don't know if anybody that's in chat or if there's anybody left ever heard of Boneyard, but I think his name was Robert Ng and another man. It was basically the same situation with this guy. He escaped, but they had a secret location where they would do all of this stuff to all these people. That if they gave us more information, we would know what the room was for. One, he could have made that room intentionally in case people came looking for him and they broke in and they're like, hey, is he here? I don't see him. He's inside that little room for safety. It's like a makeshift panic room. Or if
Well,
it's
this is more than a panic room, though. This is a house. They say the shit you would see in the movies.
right. Well, like I said,
Trap
when I was a kid, I
hallways.
did do that, where I had trap doors and stuff in case somebody broke in my house. But then I realized that the game Clue was ridiculously fake, and you can't go from one corner to another corner unless you had tunnels. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. It just became too much after I thought about it, and I tried mapping it out. But yeah, this guy knew he was going to be running from either the police or some heavy duty hitters.
It's just crazy. I don't know. Something to think about, little instinct thing. Here's another video about Richard Allen here, real quick.
It has been nearly a week since officials over in Carroll County announced charges in the Delphi double murder investigation. Abby Williams and Libby Germoon were both found dead back in 2017 on the Monon High Bridge. Now, a Delphi man is facing charges. We don't know much about why investigators believe this man right here, Richard Allen, was connected to the killings. Now, we do know he still has to hire his own attorney, and a judge from Fort Wayne is now overseeing the case. Fox 59's Russ McQuaid spoke to a judge who is giving us some insight into this complicated case.
When Richard Allen was arrested on October 26th, that started the clock ticking on the case against him and also on the constitutional rights that protect his presumption of innocence. Last Monday's briefing by authorities was light on details, including the evidence and the state's case against Richard Allen.
I first thought, well, who's going to represent him? Who's his attorneys?
Allen's My Case file does not list a defense attorney, though in a judge's order last week to move Allen to state custody for his own safety, the court said Allen announced at his secret initial hearing October 28th that he would hire his own attorney.
But given the fact that he's been moved out of the county jail to a couple of different locations indicates he may not have access to counsel in order to go retain one.
Allen has the right to know the details of the case against him, but because the file is sealed, we don't know if he knows what he's up against.
The issue, though, constitutionally for Mr. Allen, though, is paramount. There's no circumstances under which he's not allowed to know why he's been arrested.
Allen has until November 17th to tell the judge if he has an attorney, and he must request a change of venue to relocate his trial to get an unbiased jury by November 26th, and his speedy trial deadline.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. No lawyers still. I thought the wife would have got him one, but
I don't think the wife's going to get involved at this point.
Nope.
I mean, what would be smart is she just disappears completely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I'm feeling what I was feeling earlier.
Oh,
What's
what?
up?
No, you.
No, go ahead. I already said, in the beginning, so I'm all good. I think she's gonna be totally out of it until the trial happens, and then they're gonna be putting her up on the stand to testify.
Maybe. I mean, that would suck.
I think they put her in protection because she's not at the house anymore, correct? They don't know where she is.
Nobody knows where she is. So
yeah, I think they put her in protection.
I'll be honest.
That's just my opinion.
If I was a cop, and if I was anybody, even me right now, wanting to know everything.
Holy shit!
What?
Mm-hmm. Cherry just said former FBI bomb technician and government contractor from Carmel were sentenced to 11 years for child porn.
Dude, it doesn't surprise
me. Wow. I have a feeling we're going to be cracking some eggs with this Carmel shit.
Oh yeah.
Carmel, Franklin, Bargersville.
So I told you that I'm also an illusionist, right?
I've heard you say it before on another
Yeah.
stream.
So
Do you have to go to somebody else's, man?
no, I'm going to also make videos where I teach false cuts and false shuffles and stuff. They're going to be pretty short, but in case anybody's interested in learning how to control cards and shit like that, it's going to be like a very, very thorough tutorial on different moves.
Hey, what's up, Kib Kitty? How are you?
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm
How's
good.
it going?
I might not be on long.
Why?
Oh, it's all good. Just thanks for hopping in. I wonder how Richard's wife's brother died. Do we know? I do not. I have no idea. I never looked into that. Do you know anything about that allegedly? I don't. I haven't looked up
Dude.
anything on that.
We can barely find out much about, her, let alone now him. All this stuff is just going to be filtered through the news soon. Plus, remember, the biggest cases right now, aside from this one, are mixing in and kind of blurring everything. Like you have AWP.
I know, man. I'm trying to stay away from that one. It's because it's a lot, man. It's a lot.
Now you have Amanda Bearden from Debbie Collier. She's about to go on to a podcast and, have a conversation Wednesday, I think, or Thursday, maybe tonight.
Yeah, that's going to be a topic tomorrow, too. If you have any opinions on that one, I'll be bringing that one up tomorrow night.
She needs to not eat guilty or innocent. She needs to not speak. She's already, when I finally said, listen, the police are about to say it was an accident or suicide, so I'm totally cool. I'm just going to drop it and that's it. I'm going to deal with it. She had to go and open her mouth. The moment when I read everything she wrote, I said, well, you're guilty. Like, there's no way to turn around from that. You can't say it. She basically typed out a full paragraph that said, nah, 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 I got away with it. And we're like, really? Just as Scott, one of the biggest people saying her and Andrew did it, finally said, hey, I submit I was wrong. I apologize. And I literally said it 3 or 4 days prior. I posted it in all the groups and everything. I said, look, I'm obviously wrong if they're going to say it was an accident or suicide. And she has to come out and open her mouth. I mean, don't say a word, girl. Stay in hiding. Don't speak.
Because she was doing just fine, She was.
It's just like
nobody.
The babysitter made one statement, and I said that she should stop. If she opens her mouth again, it's going to look bad. Then she opened her mouth again, and I'm like, ooh,
over and over and over too.
And then again, inconsistency, and then finally, her full statement from the first video was contradicted by her final one that she put out, and I'm like, girl, just stop talking. Just stop. It's like
Who is this?
woman's husband.
What's that?
It's like the woman's husband, the one that just died because they were trying to take her baby. He laughs in a news video. He's like, and for all you people on Facebook, I'm not guilty. Bro.
Yeah.
You don't laugh when somebody's missing or dead. You don't duck your face down, laugh, and then look back at the camera and go, I'm not guilty. You just said, hi, I'm Mr. Guilty. It's spelled Mr. M-R-G-U-I-L-T-Y, Mr. Guilty.
I don't think he's guilty, but I don't think he had anything to do with it or was connected to it. I just think that dude, he's just out of it.
I'm sorry.
He's just
Who
out.
came up on panel with us?
Oh, Kib Kitty. What were you saying?
So, Kib Kitty, are you married?
Yes, I am.
So, if your spouse went missing or was found dead during your news interview, are you going to sit there and look them dead set in the eyes, telling them all these stories that make no sense and doesn't add up, look down and then laugh before you say you're innocent? Or would you come right out and be like, no, I am not guilty, yo. Stop talking about me. I'm trying to find my spouse.
Have you seen the interview, Kib Kitty?
No.
No?
But would you laugh?
No, I would not laugh.
Oops. Gosh, I always have. Come on, pause. Sorry, I gotta learn how to do that better.
Kip Kitty? You know who would laugh, Kip Kitty? Christopher Watts. Like he was doing the whole time with his big smile on news. I don't care if he is. I didn't inhale. Dude, stop lying.
Yeah, check out this interview, Kip Kitty. This is we'll pause it a couple times, just so we don't get striked. But just we'll pause it on a couple important things that he says or important actions that he does or doesn't do.
For starters, do you feel like are police talking to you and communicating with you about everything that's going on?
They are to a point, but not as much as I wish they would. Honestly wish I could get more info from them on where they're at, if they've even got like an area where she could be, at least something that I would have better understanding on what they were doing.
And just how do you feel about the response?
Wow, he's just not even paying attention to her. Sorry, I have to keep saying that crap.
I'm sorry, you mean to the child, right? So everybody knows.
Actually,
yeah, he's not paying. Yeah, I meant the child.
And also, he's already done guilty serial killer #1 comment. I don't know what they're doing, but if they would tell me more, so I knew. You never ask what the police are doing, ever. It's none of your business.
And then she's like, "How do you feel they're doing?" He's like, "Oh, I feel they're doing a great job." It's like, wait a minute, you just said you wanted more information.
Better understanding on
Who is this guy?
what they were doing.
Okay, do you know about the Ashley Bush case?
Is his name Josh Willis?
I don't know what his name is. What is his last name?
Kip Kitty, it's about the woman who was recently found deceased with her child removed from her at 32 weeks.
In Arkansas.
Oh.
Have you heard about that?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the fiance of the mother and the baby that this is the fiance of them. And they're
the woman.
This is the woman that was everybody says unalived now. This is her fiance, and this is before they found her body. Just to keep that in mind.
I think what it is unalived. That's what they're trying to say, but since it's
unalived, is that the best word now?
Yeah, because they don't want to get copyright or not copyright strikes, but bad word strikes.
So what is the M word a bad word?
Anything that deals. That's why I keep using abbreviation CP, child M, SA
I do
for
CP.
the assault, and for the M word, I think 10 to life was getting hit on it a couple of times. So she
wow,
said it's but
really? Okay,
it's because they're
even 10 to life.
What it's some psychological term. It's like depression and something else all mixed together. It's really weird.
Huh. Okay. All right, let's get back to this. That's crazy.
Thanks for the info. Could get more info from them on where they're at, if they've even got like an area where she could be, at least something that I would have better understanding on what they were doing.
And just how do you feel about the response and what they've done since you notified them that she's missing?
Actually, I'm very appreciative of how quick they got here, all the stuff that they've gotten to.
That's true.
How quick they've collected their evidence and questioned everybody. I appreciate everything they've done so far. It's actually surprising that with her
and now he's praising
missing for only a couple hours.
Not only that, CJ pointed this out to me and I didn't even notice it. He's not even looking at his kid. She could be like swallowing 15 cigarette butts right now, and he doesn't even know. She could be eating bottle cap, dog poop, anything, and he doesn't know.
He's too focused I'm not a
jumped on
suspect.
it as fast as they did. They had officers all night long out looking for her. They
Oh, he paid
hey,
attention to
quit,
it.
baby.
Oh, just wait. It gets
They
worse.
were helping me look for her. They were up here searching all over. Grab it. Around Maysville, they were searching everywhere looking for her on Monday. The officer that was here that night, he kept talking to me.
Poor
He kept
baby.
checking in like every hour to 2 hours on what he was finding. Detective Matthews, after I had my meeting with her yesterday, she got a hold of me a couple of times yesterday to let me know what she had found. No, let go. And then when I had located Ashley's phone,
Watch this.
she
He
got a hold
just
of her
doesn't even
officer
look.
that was already out here to collect
It's
evidence
horrible.
from the handy stop.
Who knows what she's
He came
picking up?
straight to me and collected the phone, did the measurements, took pictures. I gave him permission to open her phone, found all the messages from her and Lucy. He told me that they were going to go back to the office, to their forensic department, to do a deeper search into the phone. And
Is he
to see if they
supposed to
could
give
get
a
any prints or
statement right
anything.
now?
He's just spilling all sorts of shit, isn't he?
He is. It's like, and the funny part is, he's like, if they need to tell me more of what they're doing, but here's everything they're doing, and it sounds like they've told him a lot more than they tell anyone else, even completely innocent people.
Yeah. But now they ain't saying.
Thing off of it to see who
They're
all
like,
had
wait a
messed
minute.
with it.
And so are you hopeful that, having her phone, they'll be able to find Lucy's number and hopefully track her down?
I'm hoping they can do that, but the only contact that Ashley and Lucy had together was through Messenger. So I'm hoping they could try to figure out an IP address off the profile to see if they could actually figure out where the profile was actually made, to see if they could track it down that way. But other than that, all they've had is just off the Messenger.
And this.
He just puts his hand back there for the kid.
Exactly
You don't even turn around. What the?
No.
It's gone now?
It's she either blocked everybody from it or she deactivated it after what happened on Monday. I've been through every mom's group that I could think of on Facebook, and I can't find any of Ashley's posts on any of them, or this Lucy's post on any of them. I have found other Lucys on there, but none of them was the Lucy that I actually had been talking to.
Now, can we pause it real quick right here? I don't know if
Yeah,
anybody,
go ahead, buddy.
I don't know if anybody's ever belonged to a group in the past, but if you make a post, and let's say I made a post on CJ, EvilleCJ's, like, he's like, allegedly you're a moron, and I'm like, dude, you're a moron, and then he deletes the messages. My messages are still there. So when he says, I went to every mom group I could find, first and foremost, you have access to her phone. You know what group she was in. Second,
right,
it doesn't matter if Lucy deleted it. You're just looking for a Lucy in any of her messages. So you would go and look at the groups you belong to and comments you made. So for him to say, I went through every mom group, why do you have mom groups? What are you doing in them? Second, how are you not finding the message? Because what did Lucy go through? Or, I'm sorry, not Lucy, the woman who did it. Did she go through her phone and take all that time to delete every single post and message and comment that was made between each other on your wife's account? I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't buy that.
While she was committing a crime, like, I doubt it.
Well,
it's a good
imagine if
point,
they were
allegedly.
going to sell the baby. Let's say they were going to sell the baby and they were going to make it look like the baby was taken. These people, their plan wasn't to buy the baby. Their plan was to lie about buying the baby. So they go, hey, let's make this good. You're going to talk to a girl named Lucy online about clothes and stuff. So this way, You 100% have an alibi that you didn't sell your baby or get rid of it. And then the other two, the guilty party, was like, these people are so stupid. We're just going to take the kid. And now he's sitting there trying to backpedal going, I'm going to go to prison because I helped and they screwed me over and my wife over and they murdered her. You know, there's a lot of things that could be in the background. So for him to be sitting there giving this information, you just come on and say, I hope my fiance is found. We're all hoping for the best and the police are doing what they can. Don't give so much information, bro. You're sounding like, I got to build my alibi here on the news so that there's proof and everyone believes me.
Right? And I need to put out what could possibly happen that's about to fucking happen, you know?
Exactly.
And also when when they ask him at the end of the interview, so is there anything that you have to say to the people, that did this or whatever? What a crazy response.
Oh, you'll hear it.
I just hope they and her and the baby. It's like Cherry says Ashley/Lucy blocked him after she did this crime. Yeah, I totally believe she blocked him as soon as this shit went down. That is the easiest way to get rid of the messages.
That
Just
you were
block 'em.
just, but her messages would still be there, referencing her. It wouldn't be highlighted. The name would be just normal type, and you could do it with anybody. If they block them or delete them, doesn't matter. The other party's messages are still there, and it still says Lucy, but now it's not highlighted where you could click it and see their profile. It just says Lucy and type, so it would still
Yeah.
all be there.
I think that's what maybe he was saying, was that he couldn't click on her. Like he could see maybe what the wife typed or
Well, he said
not the
all
wife, but the
messages were
fiance.
gone. He couldn't find any messages.
All of them.
He said. Right. He said, I couldn't find any messages between them, which is why I interrupted.
So she
because I was
deleted
not
it.
through.
Well, when did they say that? This is what I still am confused about, because I don't think she was killed in the truck. It's too damn bloody.
Well, no,
And
they said that there
she
was
needed
some
that
on
baby.
fire. So that would mean it would probably be in the vehicle or near it. They said it was on the
Got cut.
head area.
Yeah. So she must have hit her over the head with something to kind of keep her alive, but knock her out so she could have her alive while she was taking the baby and didn't get
I
any
hope
fight
not,
back.
man. Could you
I
imagine
bet that's
that?
well. In the beginning of my stream, I was talking about how in the hell could she have restrained her or kept her to where she wasn't fighting back when she's getting that baby cut out of her, because she had to be alive when she was getting the baby, right? So I'm in my mind, I'm like, okay, zip ties, but and then I'm thinking, well, maybe she shot her in the head in a certain part where it doesn't kill you right away, but it makes it where you're not mobile. But dude, I didn't know about the cut, and who's to say they weren't riding in the fucking truck and she didn't hit her over the head with something hard to knock her ass out. And that's why the husband didn't see her moving the truck. She was fucking knocked out while the girl was racing to get her back to the fucking house so she could hurry up and do what she needed to do before she finished her off.
Well, here's the problems with all the stories. So the news report said that the fake Lucy was home with a cousin and a child. And then she left, and she told the husband she was having a miscarriage, and he went home and said nobody was there. So where were the other two people?
I thought it was her mom.
No, it was.
I thought her mom was there.
And maybe it was the mom and her little cousin or something, but there was an adult and a younger person. So
Yeah, I
where
don't
were
know
they?
about the younger one.
I mean,
I did hear the mom.
Where were they, though? He said nobody was home. Well, did they go with her? Because if you really consider, imagine taking even a pregnant person, taking a person who could fight back. That's not a one-person job. That's a two-person job, especially if
had
you
to
have
knock her out,
medical.
though. I think she knocked her out.
If she's not a doctor or a surgeon, she's going to have a lot of trouble. The only times that we hear about people that didn't struggle with this kind of thing was that one woman who had medical training. She took the baby, drove to the hospital, the baby survived, and she ended up getting arrested for it. And the baby lost the mother, of course, and the grandparents took, the baby. But that woman had medical training. She worked in a nursing home and all this other shit. This woman didn't. I mean, she didn't have any training. So imagine, even if you went online, I bet you if everybody Googled it right now, I want to know how confident you would feel that you would be able to commit this act solo.
No way.
I mean, you're moving a human body. Think about that. Not just, okay, a human
Or
body.
if they knock her ass out where she doesn't even move.
Right, it would be a they. But right
you
now
can
they're
just
only saying it's the one woman. She supposedly did it all. So that means this woman took a pregnant woman, somehow restrained her, somehow got her to a point where she could operate, remove the baby. The woman dies, of course. So she has to pick up the body, put it in the vehicle, and drive it to wherever she's going to try to dispose of it or hide it. Plus she has a baby. So the body was out in public while she, had a body hidden somewhere that she had to have maneuvered and moved. Does that sound like a one-person job?
I get you.
Yeah, go ahead. And I want to get to your point allegedly after.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
No, you're not. I was
We're
interrupting.
having fun here, girl.
Yeah. No, you go first.
When I lived in Ohio, this woman was faking a pregnancy.
Ooh.
And she kidnapped, or she had something for sale. And this pregnant woman, she had been following her and somehow got her information and was selling something. And this lady called her to come and look at it or look at something. And that woman killed her in the garage, cut the baby out because she wanted the baby, and buried her in the dirt floor.
Oh,
was it just one? Was it just her?
Yeah, it was just her.
But it was all self-contained at that point. She didn't have to transport the body anywhere, right?
Well, I'm thinking that I don't think she had help killing her. I think she knocked her ass out in the truck. Because that's why the husband said, I couldn't tell that she was moving, but I thought I saw her in there. I bet she was knocked the fuck out, heart still beating. Lady was rushing because he said as soon as he pulled out and tried, he said I couldn't even see him up on the hill, and they were gone. So
That
she
doesn't make
was
sense to me
speeding
either.
home.
That doesn't make sense to me either. I've followed somebody when they tried to get away, and believe me, it's not as hard as people make it. Like, he's making it sound like she must have had a very long head start going up the road before he decided, well, I'm gonna get in the car with the kids and go.
Well, it ain't hard to get away. I've gotten away from cops. It ain't
right,
hard.
But if you see when he said that he saw her and he tried following,
that was a long time ago, by the way. I just want to say that.
He's like, don't arrest me now.
I just have to say that this is a long time ago.
What I'm saying is, he said they stopped at a light, then she continued, or a stop sign or a light, and then she continued driving. And when he realized that they weren't stopping when he was waving his arms, what I think was he didn't follow immediately. I think he thought, maybe they're going up and turning around.
Yeah.
So he
Do
waited.
you think he was in on it?
Well, no, that's
I
my
don't.
joke. I was joking about it when I'm saying all this, but this is why innocent people never should talk. They need to shut up, only say the basic thing, come home or let her go.
Yeah, he does. If there was a small amount of evidence that would show it, then I could see what he says in this interview. People would be like, "Oh my God," because he uses past tense before she's found. He talks about, like we'll get to the later little bits of the interview. He talks about like what he thinks the possibilities could be that's happened, and you're just like, whoa. A lot of the stuff he says, like allegedly says, he should have just kept it. It's a 19-minute interview. He should have just kept it at 2.5 minutes. She's a great family woman. We miss her dearly. We just, little stuff. What do you want to say to the people? Please bring her home. Whatever it takes. We don't care. But he just doesn't talk about just his wife and the baby. He always keeps bringing up they also. It's just,
I mean, we can't take
very
into
crazy.
we also have to take into consideration, just because he says I love her and I want to be with her and she's all that matters, it doesn't mean that he does, maybe she cheated and that kid might not be his, or
Oh,
all
there's
Maybe he
reports
doesn't
that
want
there's
it.
so much drama in that household that they're not the happy couple that he's claiming to be. Like,
right.
they're
And that's why I'm saying, what
a lot of
if,
toxic.
let's hypothetically say that he introduced the other couple to her, and he's like, look, I need to get rid of her. We can't let anybody know. So she approaches her on Facebook, has a conversation with her, and starts talking with her. And then he's like, you want the baby? Take the baby. It's not mine. And this gets him to be single. And so for me, he's not guilty. This 19-minute freaking interview was a way to put him in. At the end, when he says, I just hope that everybody's okay, they're okay, and I hope
Them,
she's okay
yeah,
with the baby. That
yeah.
tells me, like, when I first heard
It's like,
that, I'm
whoa.
like, ooh,
Yeah, it's
there is
like,
a
whoa.
possibility this was a roundabout way of getting rid of your wife so that you didn't have anything to do with it. Because if you're going to cut a 32-month-old baby out of somebody's stomach, that person's going to die, especially if they're not at a hospital. So I don't think if he did have something to do with it, this would be the reason why she wasn't coming home. And he's not crying. Think about this.
No, he's not.
The worst. Do you see his nose red? Does he have the grief muscle in between his brows? Are his cheeks red? He's sitting there in a steady, safe environment, far away from the people. They're zooming in to get this shot, but you can tell when they zoom out, and I think they're zooming out because they're trying to make sure the baby's okay. He's not concerned about the child running amok,
No,
even though
he's
he
not.
says that he takes care of her and he's the only one,
Mhm.
and he
Mhm.
also, when they mentioned coming up in like the next 3 minutes, he says, we didn't even buy anything yet. Who in their right mind at 32 weeks doesn't even have a crib?
You know what I'm saying? And you can go to churches for if you don't got money, which they don't, you can go to churches and get donations, and you can go to different organizations. You're going to have this baby and then you're going to go get the clothes. I mean, you get that crap over time, so it's not an overbearing.
It's not an overnight endeavor.
Right.
And this is basically, at this point, an overnight endeavor. Then he mentions also, Kip Kitty, that his wife used to, and it's coming up, but his wife used to work with his family. That's a bad sign. That's a completely bad sign when your wife's only communication with the outside world is just your family. Oh, I got to go to work with just your family. Then I come home and it's just you, me, and your family. Because when you think about it, everything that she's on lockdown. So with a woman who's on lockdown all the time, you're okay with her having complicated pregnancy and all these medical problems going alone with a woman you don't really know, especially without her meds.
And you're not even crying while she's gone.
Once we play that fully through, you're going to probably be thinking, this guy, he should have shut up because he's going to be going to jail for something.
Yeah. And if he is guilty, it's because he didn't want the damn baby in the first place and he didn't know a way out.
Yeah.
If he is
Sounds like
tied into it. But I don't know. I honestly,
he's just sounding.
I don't think he's guilty. He just sounds guilty. And if he is guilty, I think it's just because he didn't want to be a man, basically. But
Or
yeah,
just
we'll get back
wanted to he wanted to get a new girlfriend. We don't know what's going on privately with him. He never talks about it. He doesn't say who he's friends with on Facebook. He says, I've been to all the mom groups, so that means he has a Facebook, right? So what do you do on your Facebook there, chum? Who do you talk to?
They were only engaged, though. He could have easily, if they were married, where you got to get the law involved, and then I can understand. But
There's countless
he could
situations
walk
where
out.
people are dating or engaged, and it happens, and it's because you don't want to look bad. You just don't want to be the person that. Think about it. Let's say that it was his kid, and he just didn't want to be with her anymore. Well, you're now a deadbeat dad. You kicked your girl out. She's pregnant. I mean, in some of these guys' minds, the only thing that matters is getting rid of the person that they don't want to be with and not looking bad themselves. But
right.
again, we've all agreed before this that we don't think he's a part of it.
Yeah.
I'm just giving reasons why he could be.
Yeah,
But
we don't think he is, though.
Let's let these guys listen to the rest of this and let them give
Yeah.
their input.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go back a couple seconds here, and then we'll hit it.
But none of them was the Lucy that I actually had been talking to.
And you actually saw this woman yourself, right?
Yes. Saw her Friday when Ashley did her interview with her, and then I saw her again on Monday when she picked up Ashley.
Did you ever get, I mean, when you were around this lady, I know you said earlier you felt she was disorganized in the interview, but what were your thoughts around how she was acting? Did you get any weird vibes from her?
Friday when we met her, I didn't have any weird vibes on Friday. She seemed like she was legit. She asked us if we needed any baby clothes or anything for the baby. We told her we needed everything because we haven't bought anything yet. She told us that she had all the baby stuff that we needed, the car seats, the beds, clothes, all that. That it took her an hour to get home in Bella Vista and an hour back. So I was like, we'll just meet another day and we'll get all the stuff from you. She said, okay. That afternoon, Friday afternoon, she messaged Ashley and told Ashley that her boss wanted to meet her at 9 o'clock on Monday. I was like, all right, I can take you Monday. I can go donate plasma and you can do your meeting and then we'll go to the house. Around 10:30, 11 o'clock, Lucy messaged her again and told her that she'd meet her at 11 o'clock at Handy Stop to take her to meet the boss. That's when I started getting suspicious about her because one, why would you text somebody that late at night that you're going to pick them up when she had us meet her and grab it in the first place? I understand that we were here for Halloween and stuff, so it would have been closer for us to come here instead of all the way back to grab it. But messaging her multiple times that the time was changing, and then when we got here at 11, she messaged us again and told us to be another 30 minutes before she got here. So around noon is when she finally, it was between 11:35 and 12 before they all decided to leave. When she got out of the car, she was all dressed up, had a nice dress shirt on. It was all multicolor. I don't remember what pants she was wearing. She had a light blue or gray pullover over her dress shirt. On Monday, Friday, she was just in a shirt, had like a sweater or something over the top of it. And when she took her top shirt off, she had a yellow tank top, like she wasn't even prepared for her interview. She forgot all of her computers and stuff that she was supposed to do the interview with on Friday. She said she was having complications because her lawyer had contacted her about her divorce. So she was crying, forgot all of her stuff to do her slideshow for Ashley with and everything. She didn't have any of that. All she had was paperwork for the company that she was supposed to work for, which was Conduent. So I contacted Conduent. They never heard of this Lucy chick. They're based out of New Jersey when Lucy said that they were based out of Oklahoma City. The guy that was on the email address that Ashley was supposed to contact,
Still not looking at that,
to get
baby.
further information, he actually
Thank you,
worked in
Cherry.
New Jersey,
Appreciate the info.
but quit his job back in June. So he no longer worked for the company at all. So that threw flags. That started throwing red flags when the company didn't even know who she was. And I didn't find that out until Monday, after I started going through all the paperwork and stuff that we had. That the company didn't actually want to hire Ashley. That this woman had random paperwork from this company. So they left. I told Ashley, I was like, I don't want you going. I have a bad feeling about you going today. She was already having pressure in her stomach from the baby when she woke up Monday. But she kept telling me she'd be fine, she'd be back. I was like, contact me if you have any problems. Around 2:56, I got a message from her saying that they were going to be here in like 12 minutes, that they were leaving Grab It. I told her, okay, I'll be right there. I drove down here and waited. And finally, I was getting gas. And at the stop sign on 72 is when I saw them pull up. I couldn't tell if Ashley was moving or not. I thought they looked at me, so I was waving.
Hold on.
When Lucy turned right on 43.
I didn't even realize this. I didn't even realize if she was moving or not. He just said she's dead. But I don't want to tell you she's dead.
Yeah.
Because she's not found yet. So she's dead. But I didn't see her moving.
It's all that past tense crap, man. It's just like, what?
Well, no, why would you even say that? Think about that. Why would that come out of your mouth? I didn't even see her moving. Wait, so she's sitting up in the seat, but
that's what I was saying about the truck. I think she got knocked out. She wasn't moving.
Or
that's why I think she got knocked out.
I mean, this guy is basically saying, hey, do you have a size 5 handcuff? Because my wrist is a little bit thick. Dude, those words should never come out of a person's mouth at all when your wife, who has medical complications, is with somebody. I saw them pull up at the light, and I didn't see Ashley moving. I didn't notice her moving at all. Why would that come out of your mouth? That
and why wait 3 hours?
No sense.
Why wait 3 hours to call the LE?
So wait,
if that's what happened, you know?
You didn't see her moving at all? No.
Right.
And you waited 3 hours to call. Why? Did you not? Did she look like she was sleeping? I didn't see her moving at all. Bro, just get your own handcuffs. Walk in the police station and be like, look, I fucked up. I had this plan and it didn't work out the way we thought it would. And I already messed up by going on the news for 19 minutes. So can you just arrest me now? How far are we through this? This is halfway through, right? We're at like the 9-minute mark.
Yeah, the 9-minute mark. Yeah.
And he's already thrown himself under the bus like 50 times. And he's like, I don't care about my kid. Let her go eat stuff on the ground.
That's fine.
I'm on TVs, right? I'm on TV. Okay. So I need to keep like sitting here concentrating on my story. Look at his face. That's not the face of a guy just telling a story. That's the face of a man concentrating on a story.
Scripted. Yeah.
Because if you were just telling the story, you know what you would be doing? Yeah, well, I went there and I was hey, come here. All right, cool, thank you. Yeah, thanks. No, don't put that in your mouth. I was going to that's how a normal person would be, talking to their kid, trying to keep an eye on them. But when you're sitting there dead set, staring in one direction, going, and then they pulled up to the red light on this road and I did not see her moving. That sounds like you're now trying to project blame and circumstances onto everyone else. She didn't even bring her computer to do the thing. She didn't have it, and she was only in, and she wasn't dressed for a presentation. Bro, this is too much information that you're spilling here. What the nobody cares how anybody was dressed. You just said, I don't even know what my wife was wearing for pants, but the other woman had on a yellow tank top. Bro, stop talking.
And it's crazy. I'm going to go through this in tomorrow night's show, too, with this interview, because I'm going to dig a little deeper into it. I don't know if you noticed this, and you probably do. There's certain parts, like what you're saying, he's got to be totally focused on this story. That's why he can't pay attention to what his daughter's doing, because then he might say something he's not supposed to. Because if you watch him while he's not even paying attention to his daughter during this whole interview, there's a couple times during this interview where you can see him mentally stop what he's about to say and pause for like 4 seconds and then kind of jiggle his head a little bit and then continue on with what he's saying.
Well, I've been catching, but look at the reflection right there in the window. Do you see what that is? in the window on his to the left of him, it's a car. You see how big it is in that reflection?
Yeah, that truck.
That means it's right on the street, which means that sidewalk is so thin his daughter could take 10 steps out and get hit by a car, and he doesn't even give a shit.
Yeah, he's right by the hell. That's a street sign for the gas station right there.
Exactly. So with the street being that thin, him sitting at a table that's probably at a Dairy Queen, because that looks like one of those umbrellas that they open up to stop the sunlight. That means the road is less than 15 feet away from where he's sitting, and his kid is running behind him and all around, and he's just sitting there telling this story, concentrating so hard.
And he ain't even looking back. It's sad.
I don't think he even cares about what the child is doing.
It's so clear. Like, I think he's just got us. He's about himself, because these are all stepchildren. His first kid was going to be the one that the mom was pregnant with. So that's probably all you can clearly see. Like, if he was really trying to be a step parent, he wouldn't be doing what he's doing, you know.
I just love the
any
part, I'm gonna
step
say
parent
this,
with a couple-year-olds is going to be like totally on them. What's up, buddy?
I want you to notice this, Kip, just so that I'm going to bring it up. But at one point, he's like, she's glued to my side. She won't leave my side. And suddenly the kid runs off and he tries to reach for her, like, oh, shit, you just ruined what I said. So watch for that, because you're going to laugh hysterically. I did. I was on mute and I started laughing, and I came back laughing. And I'm like, dude, did you see the kid run off as he's like, she's glued to my side? Okay, I'll stop now.
We're gonna dive deep into this tomorrow, but we'll finish up this interview, and then I'm gonna have to call it a night for this evening. But I'm gonna try and be on around 7 o'clock each night. I'm gonna try and stick to that time period instead of doing it later than what I have been. But we'll go ahead and finish up this interview, chat for a minute, and then we'll go ahead and bounce, and I'll be back on tomorrow. So I'd love to have you guys back on.
And Cherry should come up tomorrow too, and Melmac. And Alice.
Yeah, anybody it'll be an open panel, so whoever's comfortable is more than welcome to just hit that link and join the chat.
I have to be honest. This is not my typical. I'm out of my comfort zone.
Oh,
So,
you mean for being on panel?
Uh-huh.
You're doing great. Don't
well,
worry.
just
But
think.
we're gonna finish the interview so that you
Just
can
think
see
it's
all the
like
stuff
you.
we're joking.
Just think it's like you calling into Nancy Grace. You know, you're watching a crime thing on TV. You're calling in to say, "Hey, what's up?" You know, you're one of them people on the call. I appreciate you being on. It's nice. It's fun because, you know, it's more topics, more theories, more perspective. It's just why not? We'll just get to where we're getting even closer.
Now that you heard me and him making fun of this whole video in a joking but serious manner, you're going to start picking up on all this going, oh my gosh, this is just messed up.
And if you
I
have
to
any...
say, I don't get a good from this guy.
You don't?
No. I really don't.
Well, we'll
And
be
you know
going
that
into
theory that I
the...
said was fake earlier, that I just said I have to look at all angles. Every time I hear this interview, and I've listened to it not just with you that first time, but twice, and then this time, that's why the angle came up. I was like, but I'm going to stop because we'll never get through the video if I go on.
Hey, like I said, we're going to be digging into this video deep tomorrow. I'll probably end up spending about 45 minutes on just this video, because we're going to be looking at things, pausing it, counting things, stuff like that. If you can do me a favor, Kitty, if you can look up more information on this Ohio woman, the case that you were talking about, if you could look up more information on that, and if you're going to be on tomorrow, if you'd want to bring that into the chat, that'd be awesome, because I'd like to definitely learn more about that. What's up?
I'll see what I can find. I don't remember the last name. I think it begins with a B, of the husband of the woman that killed this pregnant woman. No. the husband that was married to the pregnant woman. Oh, I have to look it up.
Well, do you
They
know what year
were a
it took
very
place?
wealthy family. They were a very wealthy family. Say what?
Do you recall what year it took place? Like like how long ago? Maybe 10
I think it
years,
was
5
in
years.
Ravenna, actually.
Ravenna?
Ravenna, Ohio.
Ravenna, Ohio.
You know what's strange? The woman I was talking about that it happened to, I think that was in Ohio too.
Really?
But she's just left in the living room. Like the woman was coming over to buy old. She said, "Come on over. I have all these old baby clothes and toys and stuff that you can come and buy." So she drove all the way out to her house, but it wasn't her house. She went to she went to the pregnant woman's house, killed her, cut out the baby, left, and then her mother came because she couldn't get a hold of her, found her daughter dead. The woman went to the hospital with the baby, and she was like, "It's my baby," but the police were already calling the hospital saying, "Hey, if somebody comes in with a baby, we have a pregnant woman who just had a baby cut out of her." So, and they were like, "We already have a woman that just came in. She said she gave birth."
I thought it sounds like the same story, but I thought she was found buried in the garage.
But that could be a different one. There are a lot of stories out there, believe it or not, which is why when this came up and I was told about it, I got like 6 messages in the morning. Every morning I'm waking up to messages going, "Did you see this?" And I'm like, "Is this the case from 4 or 5 years ago?" They're like, "No, this is new." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm waking up."
Now, this one happened, let's see, moved to Ohio in 2000. It was in the middle of 2000. Somewhere in the
2000?
Like
2005?
Around 2005, something.
Okay.
I'll see what I can find tomorrow.
Yeah, and if you can't find anything, I can try and see if I can find something on it. We can just spend 5 or 10 minutes on that just to kind of have an idea of, it is just different possibilities of what could take place. And let me see here. And then we'll dig into this video deep tomorrow. I'm going to talk about Debbie Collier's stuff tomorrow. So if there's anything anybody has or any links that they would like to share, you can go ahead and email me. And trying to think of what else. That should be it. I can leave it up to you guys. Do you guys want to finish this video, or do you just want to dive into it tomorrow and just check it out then?
Well, we could finish it now.
probably-
We'll just let the 9 minutes play through, and then tomorrow we'll get the fresh deep dive on it. We'll rewatch it and go through it. This way, everybody.
You want to sit here for another?
Video.
You able to sit here for 10? Okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and start it up, and then let her watch the rest of it, and then we'll go ahead and end it, and then I'll be back on tomorrow.
And was going past me. I hollered at her. She looked at me, looked away, and took off. So I jumped in the car and was trying to chase them. By the time I hit the top of the hill, they were gone. I couldn't find the truck at all anymore. So I went back to my mom's to see if Lucy had dropped her off, and she wasn't there. So I come flying back down here to see if they happened to turn around, and nobody had seen them after they had drove by here. So I started blowing up her phone, asking her what was wrong, if they were going somewhere to pick something up. Around 6 o'clock, when she never showed back up, I called PD, and I was like, I didn't know how long I have to wait to file a missing persons report. And the officers transferred me to somebody else, and I told the officer what was going on. He goes, I need you to go back to the store and wait for my sheriff or my officer to get there and give him all the information. Well, as soon as the officer got here, the case just blew up. They started calling everybody, had all local PDs and everything. Around 11 o'clock Monday, I came back up here to try to trace Ashley's phone again. And the deputy that was here, he had informed me that they went national-wide with it as of 11 o'clock on Monday. So as far as I know,
national-wide.
Right now, they have moved it to southern Missouri, and they still haven't located either one of them.
you able to find her? Were you actually able to ping her phone? Was it still on, or did you just see it?
No, we actually, her cousin called me yesterday after my interview with with Detective Matthews. Her cousin called me and was talking to me the whole way here because he was pinging it from his house off an actual computer to get a better view. When I was going down 43 towards where the phone was pinged at, he yelled at me to stop. I was like, "What's wrong?" He goes, "You're right on top of the phone." I got out and I was looking in the ditch area, and my front tire on the passenger side was literally an inch from running Ashley's phone over. And I had searched all Monday night and could not find her phone. It was literally at 23% battery span when we found it yesterday.
How lucky are you? Happy that you found her phone?
I'm extremely happy that we found it. But when I first found it, I literally dropped to my knees bawling because Ashley doesn't go anywhere without her phone. Besides her family, her phone is her lifeline. That's how she contacts her parents, me, her doctors, everything when she has a problem. That's how she contacts all of us. And she doesn't have it to contact anybody for help. So nobody knows how to reach her, knows how to find her now because there's no way to find her without that phone.
And, is there anyone, I know you said recently she had to quit her job because of her pregnancy.
Yes.
Where was she working before? And did those people know anything?
No. She was actually working at Grand Lake Villa in Grove, Oklahoma. My mother was her boss. She was actually working with my mother, my sister, and my sister-in-law at the time before my sister-in-law lost her job because of her baby. Ashley and my little brother's girlfriend are literally a week apart on their pregnancies. All of her coworkers have been trying to find her.
You don't have to pause it. I bet you that their company is a cleaning company. I don't even know, but I guarantee you when we find out it's a cleaning company.
You know what? And I'm going to go ahead and throw this up in chat too. So if anybody else wants to dig into this interview, they can before tomorrow. Here's that just in case anybody wants it.
Doing everything they can. They're all worried about her because this ain't like Ashley just to disappear. Everybody knows that she loves her kids and she's not going to leave them. So they've all been trying to reach out to people. Ashley was told before all this happened that after the baby was born, she can go back to work up there, but as an aide, which is making the drinks, the desserts and stuff like that, that she wasn't going to be a cook anymore. So she was trying to find a job to where she could work there and at home to be around me and the kids more instead of being away from us all the time like she has been. I've had 3 surgeries on my spine, so I'm not able to work right now until they can figure out how to make it better to where I can start lifting more and stuff to help her out. So Ashley's done everything by herself. I've been with all the kids. So our 2-year-old, she's extremely attached to me. But now with Ashley being gone, she's more attached to me. Last night on the news, when Faith saw her mom on the news, she slapped my dad's TV and screamed, "There's my mommy. Where's mommy?" And everybody started bawling. We couldn't hold it in anymore because she doesn't actually know that she's not coming home. She thinks that she went to the store or something and she'll be back later. She cries herself to sleep at night. The ladies at Handy Mart or at Handy Stop had gotten her to eat today. Me and my mom and everybody, we've been trying to get her to eat and haven't got her to eat. She'll pick at stuff and then she'll walk away from it. Yeah, they actually got her to eat mashed potatoes and gravy a while ago and got her to actually interact with other people. Other than that, don't touch that baby. Other than that, she's been literally stuck right here like she is right now beside me.
How worried are you for her, especially the days where you said she's
Maybe the first 2 minutes of the interview.
I'm actually extremely worried for her. Besides being the high-risk pregnancy right now with the gestational hypertension for high blood pressure, she's also got seizures that are stress-related. So if she gets too stressed out, she goes into a seizure and starts shaking. Ashley doesn't have her medication. The doctor has to get her different medication because of the baby, so she hasn't been taking her seizure meds. And she's also got a slight case of depression because of her last, not this pregnancy, but her last pregnancy. So without her medication off of that, there's chances that Ashley could do something to herself to try to get away, or do something to cause them to hurt her to where she won't come home. And all of her family, her friends, my family, we're all hoping for the best, that she's still strong enough to do what they want her to do to where she can come home.
What, you know, if they're watching, what do you say to the people that have her right now?
If they're watching, I cannot believe that they offered to help us all out and then they took off with her. I wish they would just either turn themselves in or bring Ashley back home to us, to where we know they're all safe and that her and the baby aren't harmed. Because this is my first kid with Ashley, my first kid, period. Our new baby, we were going to name, because we were told it was going to be another girl. We were supposed to go do an ultrasound today to make sure that it was still a girl and that the first doctor didn't mess up on the ultrasound and it wasn't going to be a boy. So I'm just hoping that they're both safe, because honestly, with Ashley having so much complications with that baby right now, she could literally pop at any time. She's 32 weeks, but measuring at 34 because the baby's so big. So I'm honestly just wanting them both home safe with all of us, so we all can be a happy family again instead of stressing and worrying about her.
Anything else you want people to know?
There's a lot of stuff being said on Facebook right now that I'm a suspect. I just want everybody to know out there, I am not a suspect. I loved Ashley with everything I had. We've been together for almost 3 years. We went to school together. We got together in school. I moved, we separated, and now we're back. We've got a wonderful kid. I've got 2 wonderful stepkids that they don't even know what's going on with their mom yet. I would never do anything to harm her at all whatsoever. I'm not that type of guy. I just want her back. We were actually talking about getting married in June after her divorce and everything was finalized, because we're just waiting on a little bit of paperwork for it to be done. So we all had plans. Everything was happy. We weren't fighting. We had plans to do things, and now everything's to a halt. I just want her home.
Were you engaged?
Yeah, we're engaged. We've literally been engaged since 2 months after we got together.
Anything else you could think of?
No, honestly.
So sorry.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, that's it.
The one thing I want to point out before we go, when somebody says we don't fight, that's a lie. Everybody fights, even if it's about something stupid.
When he said that he didn't see her moving in the truck.
Yeah.
But then a little later he said when he yelled at him that she turned her head.
Oh, he was referring to the driver. No, he was referring to the Lucy character.
Oh, the driver?
Yeah. That's why I had to actually listen to it twice to figure it out. But he said he was waving his arms and stuff, and he looked at her, or she looked at him, and then turned back and drove away. So if she was the one in the driver's seat, yeah. But no, did you see like the kid when he was like, yeah, she stuck to my side just like now, and then she takes off, and he's like, damn it.
Yeah, I
look
saw
foolish.
She wasn't even barely around him either.
Yeah,
Like the
and
whole interview, he's just kind of sitting by
seriously,
himself.
she ran off towards that truck, which is in the road. And he just he sat there for a second staring, and then he looked back and started talking, doing his thing. So when after the third time watching it, once with you, CJ, and then the other 2 times alone, I went, there is another scenario. This was an easy way to get rid of the girl. I mean, we got engaged 2 months after we got together. What? Wait. So 2 months, you're living together, obviously. So you got engaged. How? You're
All
broke.
very quick.
You're freaking broke.
All very quick.
Did you put like a lug nut on her finger? What the hell? Sorry.
I have to say something.
Go ahead.
So, my husband, and 2 weeks later, we were married.
Wow. And how long you guys been married for, if you don't mind me asking? Since we don't know who you actually are. So
30.
30 years. Ugh. Yeah, but did you, and this is not to pry, but did you have other kids from another relationship and live with his parents like right away?
Oh, no. I didn't live with his. Well, when we moved to Ohio, we had to live with his dad till we got a house.
Right. But with these guys, think about that. Her only contact with the outside world is just her parents. He didn't mention her friends, girls that come around her going out with the girls. Just her parents, him, and his family. That's what her phone's for. And she never goes anywhere without it.
And then she started staying home more instead of working because being away from each other too much.
Oh, and I think
mostly being controlled by his family too, because I mean, if that's all you're exposed to, that family is they're worried about their son.
But also, I was wrong. It wasn't a cleaning company. I think he said something about a cook. So
yes, that's right. Yeah,
they must have a restaurant.
Because she was a cook. She was a cook, and then they said, "Well, you can do this and this after the pregnancy."
So now it doesn't make any sense. It makes zero sense, because if she was in a cleaning company, that's why I said that, because of the chemicals, she wouldn't be able to be pregnant in cleaning. But cook, she could still cook. I know tons of chefs who are pregnant, 8 months pregnant, and they're still in the kitchen cooking.
I think he said he didn't want they didn't want her to cook because I think the doctor stated that because of her complications with the pregnancy, she couldn't be on her feet.
That makes it even
and I think
worse.
that's why she was looking for a work from home job, because I think the doctor said that. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking he said in his interview that the doctor told her that she had to be off her feet.
Well, I'll be honest with you. If I had right now, I work from home. But if somebody said, hey, I know a place where you could work from home, I'm applying. I don't give a fuck. Honestly, I don't want to be in an office anymore. I used to love it, but now I get to, I know this is like TMI, but I get to not dress how I not want to dress all day while I work. So take that as you will, but the only thing I complain about is when we have Zoom meetings, I have to put on clothing. So all day at work now, I just get to do whatever I want. But for her, hell yeah, I would have taken that job. But see, that's even more dangerous for a woman, especially a woman with kids, and you're only in the household of your boyfriend. You have no outside friends.
Exactly.
I'm
wondering why he wasn't the one looking for a work from home job.
Do you want to know what really gets me? The cop was at home on a laptop tracking the phone, right? Well, how?
There we go.
Did you give him your laptop or her laptop? Because you can, trace a phone, find my phone, find my iPhone, stuff like that from a laptop. But how did you get a turnaround so quick from a telephone company for a trace on a phone?
Yeah, it doesn't happen that fast.
Right.
Yeah.
It takes time because you have to call up the company, call the corporate office, they have to file the paperwork, and then they get back to you within a couple days. It's not instantaneous. So a cop using a laptop had him, not another cop, him drive to the location of the phone, and he almost ran over it, even though he searched that area multiple times. That just doesn't seem
right.
If I was a cop, I would say, hey, Officer CJ, Officer Kip, yeah, I'm going to be on a laptop, which we already have in our cars, but I'm just going to do it from home. Can you drive out to this location?
Right.
Why didn't the cop drive in his vehicle with the laptop and trace the phone? None of this makes sense.
It don't.
Why would you have
And that's with evidence.
Why would you have somebody who was the last person to see her not moving in a vehicle go look for a phone that has potential evidence on it? You know,
exactly.
A guy who would have access that can use a passcode, go in and delete any messages that need to be deleted before he handed over.
Oh, hey, ATS.
I don't know, man.
Thanks for hopping in. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, we'll get into this video. I'm sorry, what?
I'm going to take off.
Well,
I thank you so much for hopping in here. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Legit. I'm happy.
Yes, I really appreciate it. Thank you, Allegedly, for hopping in here. I appreciate it, man. Always good chats. I can't wait to dig in. I mean, we got Carmel. We got Debbie Collier tomorrow. We got an Ohio case in Ravenna tomorrow. We got this fiance interview we're going to be diving in tomorrow. So I'm going to be back on around 7 o'clock again. I'm going to try and make 7 o'clock. Let me put this out there real quick. Thank you, ATS. I appreciate it.
Wait, is ATS?
And you guys got to join the panel sometime too. Yeah.
ATS, what up?
Yeah. Appreciate it. But yeah, we got some stuff. So I think I'm going to try and hit that 7 o'clock mark from now on instead of the 9 o'clock mark, just to make it a little easier. Because all the other streams, I'm like, man, I feel like I'm ending it early every single time. So I'm going to try and make it a goal. Thank you, ATS. Appreciate it. I'm going to try and make it a goal to try and make like 7:30 my chat time, just kind of be consistent.
I'll decide to do a chat live sooner or later, so this way I'll take the heat off you, and I'm going to make you come on mine.
There's no heat. Like, I don't mind chatting and stuff. It's just when there's like a bunch of people, man, it's almost like a party chat on Xbox or something. It's just there's too much going on, and so I don't know. I kind of like this low key stuff. Everybody, gets to say something, and it doesn't take an hour just to get everybody's point or whatever. But I don't mind it, man. And yeah, whenever you do a live, I'll definitely join you too, man. I appreciate all your support. I appreciate all your support, dude. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I mean, I was telling somebody this the other day, because I was like, yeah, I was just chilling in CDT's video one time, and Allegedly he's like, hey, man, I like your name. And then we just started hitting it up. And then I was like, you were like, hey, man, if you start doing it, just let me know and I'll support you and shit. So I just want to say I really appreciate it, man.
I'm just going to let you know, I knew you were a gamer because of your name, which is why I kept saying I liked your name. I was like, he's a gamer. I know he is. And we're going to Destiny 2 together on stream someday.
All right, buddy. Yeah, my channel is just a bunch of gaming videos and clips and all that crap. And then I'm like, you know what? We got to change it up a little bit. Watching CDT all these years, and I'm like, man, I'm just tired of this game stuff. I want to do some of this crap. So it's really cool to jump into it.
ATS here and get on live with us.
She CDT hopped in at the very beginning of it, just to say hi. So I appreciate, just say hi. So I appreciate everybody. So thank you so much. And anybody that wants to come back, I'm gonna shoot for 7 o'clock tomorrow. Anybody wants on panel, I don't care who it is. Let's just do it. Let's just have fun and chit chat and dive into some of this stuff. And I'll definitely see everybody on their lives tomorrow if you stream. So, yes, thank you
You guys
so
have a
much.
good night, and I
You
will.
too. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
See you
Welcome.
later.
Bye.
And thank you everybody else in the chat. I really appreciate all your support and your activity and just hanging out with me. It means a lot.